Hooray! What's poppin', friend?
Hi.
Hi, everybody. We are here with the one and only Kaleha.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I know it's just Kaleha and I right now, but that's totally fine. It does.
Hello. Hello to me, myself, and I.
The ether, the world outside. um, Today is a very special episode too. The past two have been two of the people most dear to my life. Last week was Lena, and we've been friends for almost like half a decade. And you and I have also now almost about to be friends for half a decade. 8,
Time flies.
21, 22. Yeah, this is the 5th year.
Yeah. And I think about it and be like, oh, how many
I
times?
really counted. What's up, guys? I see the three of you. What's poppin'? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, it's been like almost 5 years. That's so cool.
It really does fly.
We met
I,
in Europe,
we did in Ireland.
in Ireland. Oh, good times.
Baby. So many good times. We met in like the most interesting way too, I think.
I agree. It's definitely a good story that we'll tell both of our children and grandchildren.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
We probably have to do the children one first to
To get the children part. Exactly.
Um, for the three of you that are in here right now, definitely say hello. I also want to make sure the chat commenting is working properly. So please jump in and say hi. If you can, let me know that it works smoothly. Introduce yourself. I can't tell. But okay. In the meantime, though, we're going to get into the episode, but also like just catch up with you because you and I have been missing each other for like
Absolutely.
a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So my first question basically overall is how are you really? I know you said that you kind of have had a lot going. It's been hectic. So what's
Yeah.
been hectic about it?
Wow. I think it's just like I've been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing really well, but I think just like always after the new year, and just the month of January tends to be like such a month of transition. So I don't know, like it's been a bit hectic. There's some stuff going on with the fam and just with some friends and I'm back home after being in the city in New York City for a while. So trying to just like sort everything out. Um
That
so
makes
it's
sense.
a little hectic, but everything is like falling into place slowly with time, you know?
Okay, so slowly but surely type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. What
Okay.
about for you?
You know, I get, like I said before, just following the ups and downs of life, really. Like, I think I've gotten really good at being neutral for a while.
Yeah.
Then I just stopped being neutral and I've been like hitting really good highs or really good big lows. What's up,
Yeah,
fourth person, by the way? Hello. So I've just been trying to figure out how to get back to being neutral again because like I don't really know
absolutely.
how to. Like just jumping on these like emotional things is like a little bit taxing. So I want to like find grounding again. But otherwise,
Definitely.
good. I can't complain. There's a lot to be grateful for.
Exactly. Especially with the new year starting.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's all good. I'm happy. I'm like thankful to have all the cool people that I have in my life, like the support networks that I do everywhere. It definitely makes life easier.
Absolutely. I'm just gonna try and adjust.
Okay. No, you're all good. Hmm. All right. Well, I appreciate your honesty. And you definitely don't have to go into depth in those conversations, but if you happen to feel comfortable or like in those particular areas, but if you happen, oh, somebody said, RPM said, hi, ladies, stopping through to show some love. Well, RPM, thank you for the love.
No, appreciate it.
We appreciate you. Appreciate it. You're sweet. Thank you. Hopefully, you're also having a cool Saturday evening what you got going on? RPM. RPM. That's a cool name though, because like it's also like RP. I feel like that was corny, but that's funny. Yes. If you feel comfortable talking about any of those areas, please feel free to, but also if you don't, that's also key too. But your experience is valid.
You got
Of course. Anytime. Anytime. Um Transitioning, kind of like what we like introduced the idea of, or like introducing you. You and I met in Europe, and I know you love traveling.
I
I
do travel.
know. So, oh, so cute. Where would you say has been your favorite place that you've traveled to so far?
Oh gosh.
I know that's a tough one.
I want to say Switzerland because of like the amount of time that I spent there. But it's also hard not to say Ireland, especially after our like experience together and um like having family there and stuff like that.
That
That
was
was
really nice.
yeah.
That was like the one of the best summers I've ever like lived.
It's just like sometimes I think back to it and I'm just like we were living our best lives, like actually.
100%. Every time I think about it, I just see a Dicey's fist pump in the air,
I
like die.
will never forget that. I was like, this is so random, but I was watching this video where this guy on TikTok was like asking his friends to be his groomsmen by like icing them, and it just reminded me of your birthday. When we
That was the best, one of the best birthdays I've ever had.
it was so funny. It
I,
was it was so fun.
I have a video of you and I drinking wine from a bottle in like that like TV area room. Honestly, if I could find it, that'd be really funny.
And you have to send that to me, but it was funny because like somebody was asking me about it and asking me about studying abroad. And I was like, yeah, I did twice. Like I went to Ireland and I was talking to them about Ireland and they were like, well, what were you doing there? And I was like, well, we were supposed to study physics. Was
Maybe what had happened was
doing that. Like running through like my day to day with them. And I just was like, yeah, no, we'd wake up, try to get to class if we could, chill. Then it was like gym to avoid homework,
Mhm.
drink and go to bed and repeat.
Repeat.
So
Uh,
even
we were in the gym though. Like we were really in there, like very
and I in the gym like that like since honestly.
same, low key.
Like that's the goal. Like I'm trying to be this next year just a bit more active. I want to feel strong again. But we were there like every single day. We
Yeah.
had a schedule going. It's great. Like physics will do wonders apparently for my body. So
uh, we can avoid the physics again, and I'm down for the workouts. Just like the physics part, we're gonna have to pass. A hard pass.
I'm never doing it again. Like you'd have to take another physics course. And don't get me wrong, like I have so much respect for people who choose that as like a field to study, but that shit is hard.
It really is hard. But we got through it though. We both survived. I don't really know how exactly I in particular survived, but like we
Our
made
study
it.
habits, like the fact that we survived and passed passed quite well actually.
So weird. I thought I was doomed. Like I just knew it was.
Um, Me too. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to make it through this, but we'll figure it out.
Hello to our 5 friends. Also, I saw some of you guys popped in here. This is Kaleha, one of my very good friends. We're talking about traveling right now, but please feel free to introduce yourself like RPM did. You are always welcome. All 5 of you. I don't know who it is. I have a guess for who some of you are, but Please don't hesitate. I know you said you loved Ireland, Kaleha, but what did you love about Switzerland? And that's gonna like kind of go into. I might have to take a sip of wine for that one, but that's gonna go into like one of the other topics, like romance, because I know those
Oh,
two are intertwined for
guys,
you too.
I've got mine here with me too, so we can seamlessly into this next topic. But like Switzerland, it was weird. First of all, to be able to have opportunity to even live there, let alone study there, was major. Took full advantage of that, and I spent. It was like the longest I've ever lived outside of the country. I was there for like 7 months, in Geneva, and it was just amazing. It's a beautiful country, while extremely expensive to live in. I don't even know how I did that, but it was really fun, and it's so central in Europe. It's so easy to travel to like other countries and stuff like that. Um, it definitely was a bit of a culture shock, like when I first moved there, transitioning to things and just like the way of life. But it was really fun. It was super fun. And then, on the topic of romance, it definitely helped like dating someone from there, and being able to see a very different side of Switzerland had I not had any friends, or just, had I not been dating someone who was actually from Switzerland and like had been living in Geneva for a couple years. Like that definitely made the difference, and I got to see like a very different side of the city. I wasn't like as much of a tourist because I was, doing the day-to-day stuff with somebody who'd been living there for the last like 3 or 4 years, and has lived in Switzerland for their whole life. So it was beautiful, and it's a beautiful country. Like it's breathtaking, and the landscape is so diverse, and just like it just feels like the landscape, there's a lot of extremes. It's just very divergent, and
Mm.
cool. So living there was just really fun.
I know you definitely liked like the snow aspect of it because, guys, she's like a snowboarding, skiing junkie. I said skiboarding. That's how you know I'm not around the snow like that. I tend to gravitate towards hot regions, warm regions. I would love to go snowboarding with you someday, though. I will
Absolutely
100%.
gonna happen. We're going to make it happen.
This will
Try.
be me on the hitting the ground running because I know for a fact that's what's gonna happen. But for sure,
Absolutely. um yeah, no, like that definitely was a big part. I didn't get the chance to snowboard. I wasn't able like to bring all of my gear out there, but it just was so beautiful to be in, and spending like the seasons there, it's very mild, nothing overly crazy. It's not like overly snowy, overly sunny. It's just like great weather.
hmm.
Like enjoyable all around.
No, that makes sense. I definitely would love to go. I want to have some of their chocolate. Really, that's kind of mine.
It's I've ever had.
We'll go again. We'll go back.
I
Well, you
need
show me.
It's hard, like having the opportunity to go made it easier, but now that I'm out of school and like I have to pay for a ticket and ticketing and all of that is like definitely a lot more difficult. So
That makes sense.
oh, best believe I'm bringing home Swiss chocolate. It's
Ooh,
unlike that I've ever had.
that sounds so good. Is there anywhere else that you'd like to go, like a bucket list place? Is it in Europe? Is it not Europe? I think yeah.
And I like it's so hard for me to choose. There's so many places that I would want to go, and I would say that somewhere in like Central or South America or Africa, like a country there, I would really like to go to and explore. I know like we both have a background and our families are from there, and I haven't really had much chance to explore um, the continent like outside of Kenya and for you like Nigeria. So it's just like
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do that because there's so many countries and such a diverse landscape, so many things to see.
I agree. 100%. I agree. I'd love to. I haven't been able, I think obviously COVID has made it kind of challenging a little bit, but like I'd love to go back too. Yeah. I
Yeah.
miss like the culture, the vibes, even like the like community aspect there, because even though it's like a very different environment there, I feel like African community, because they have to be, but it's just like it's a lot stronger, like it's a lot more intense than like
Yeah.
Western communities, and I do miss that.
Yeah. Do you like, when's the last time that you were there?
Like, I think before we went to Ireland, like the
Oh,
year
yeah.
before, 2017, 2016 or something.
Yeah, I think mine was like, sorry, I'm just fixing my hair, but
She
I
got
think mine was the same. It was like 6 or 7 years ago. I missed the last couple of times that my family has got. It might even be more than that, quite honestly.
mm, then we're overdue.
We are way overdue. Like it's time. I'm trying to like. I mean, I'm not super keen on traveling with the pandemic and whatever and whatnot, but when I get the opportunity to and the means to be able to do that, like I like that's the first place that I'm going is home because I haven't been there in ages.
Oh, I feel that though.
So
All right, so we have a trip ahead, like a trip.
yeah, let's plan that. Let's
I'll
get
bet. Let's plan
let's
that.
get rolling for that.
Oh, you are so cute, by the way. I know I keep gassing you up, but it's just the facts. Like,
Ah, what does it say about you?
thank you, friend. I know you are, and this is literally not a question that I had listed before, but like I know a while back you were interested in modeling. Have you considered that again?
Um, I have. I don't. It's. I think I have to put a bit more work on my end. It's definitely a tougher industry to break into, and then I don't fit like the typical requirements. But not saying that it's impossible. I think that we've seen the last couple years just an increase in efforts to diversify the modeling industry and be more inclusive of all different kinds of body types and like individuals, and not only just centering on looks but also like creativity and whatnot. So I'm definitely interested in it should I ever have the opportunity, but I think that there's a lot more work that goes into making that happen and being able to stand out to people, and a big part of that is like investing a lot of time in social media and like building your platform and just like your online presence, which I mean, me, like I don't know the last time I posted on anything.
Do you not like posting on social media because just like the standards and everything around it, or like the pressure around it, or does it just not draw you? Because like you're a very naturally creative person.
Thanks, Gal. I think it's like I don't know. I think, and I guess getting a little deeper here, I've been doing just like a lot of personal work to kind of like just start this self exploration journey and like figure out who I am. And I just don't feel like anything that I would be putting out would be anything like authentic to myself. So I've just been
Mhm.
especially prioritizing that in the new year to like give myself the space and time to do that. And then I would certainly, because I love, I'm like big into film photography and making videos and taking pictures, and I would really, really love to do that. I think it's just like I don't know. Because of that, I tend to hold back, or I'm just not as invested and involved as I would need to be should I be interested in like pursuing something like modeling
That
more.
makes sense.
But I think that that will change down the road. I also, in a weird way, like, and maybe it's just because I'm not really on social media, also, is like, I like feeling connected to people, but I tend to be a bit private. So it's like, because of that, I don't know. I don't always like showing a lot of myself or my life and like what I'm doing. But I don't know, like that could always change.
That makes
Um,
sense.
yeah.
No, you should. I feel like you really social media is supposed to be a reflection of you. So if you feel like right now the things that you would produce don't best reflect you, then I totally understand just like kind of withholding and living in the present too, just kind of like living not necessarily for the sake of producing content. That's
Yeah.
funny. Ironically, I'm a content creating person, but I do feel what you're saying though.
No, I think you're totally right there.
Okay, well, I'm always gonna support your model. The day you pop out, whatever it is that you do, I'm also still like hoping for the jewelry brand so that I
I'm
can get my
working on
rings.
it. It's just like a jewel like getting into that industry is it's a money industry. Like it takes so much money like in terms of startup costs and just like investing that it's been a bit trying. But
Mhm.
as I kind of set myself up and start putting things out, like it should be okay. But
It
yeah,
will be okay. 100%.
yeah, I'll get there.
Of
That's
course.
for the that's 2022 goals.
We're in. I really want to make a vision board soon because I do one every year. I haven't done one yet for this year. Maybe we could do that one day on like FaceTime with some wine.
That I
Ooh,
love
sounds like a plan.
stuff so absolutely.
In your travels, right? Who is the most interesting person you've met so far that you would say?
Hmm.
No, that's kind of
That's
hard.
hard.
I
That's
know.
you also know like my memory is like shit. Oh my god, I have to like think and like marinate on that one. There's so many people like that's just what I love about traveling is meeting new people and like being introduced to like different cultures and backgrounds and ways of life. It's kind of hard to think of the most interesting person. I guess okay, so the first person that came to my mind is someone that I'd met while I was studying abroad in Switzerland. Her name is Melissa. She's from Australia and she became a really, really close friend of mine. I still consider her a good friend of mine. And she was just like one of the most interesting people I've ever met and a friendship that I definitely like cherish for sure. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's dope. That's so cool that like especially when you're around the world, like you'll meet other people that are not like from the place that you're visiting and also just like other people who are also exploring too. Kind of
Yeah.
like bond over the
Yeah.
exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's absolutely that's inevitable. Like you're gonna meet new people. So
that's awesome. I know we all kind of miss it deep down. Everybody's like craving the travel vibes. The like brief moment where COVID felt like it was dying down and now like everybody went nuts over traveling for a little bit. Like
no
prices of everything skyrocketed for a minute.
God. I'm kind of suffering from that. Like even looking for an apartment.
Ooh.
When I look at the listing and what it was listed for maybe a year ago, this is now just like holy shit.
How has looking for an apartment been?
So stressful. I just it's hard being like not where I'm trying to locate to try and look for something, but I don't it's like my least favorite thing to do. It's such a difficult process. I definitely feel lucky that I'm able to, most definitely. Like I don't want to take that for granted, but um it definitely can be really trying, especially in the market of the city that I'm like being in New York and stuff like that. Things go up and in a matter of hours they're taken. So it's just
Mm.
and I was looking at one apartment that this time last year was listed for like 34 and I'd be sharing it with like a bunch of other people, but now it's listed for like 5,000.
Oh, 5,000. Oh my
Yeah.
goldfish.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Rough.
Oh no. Oh, RPM. Thank you for your comment. She has a question for you, Kaleha. She said, I'm going to assume that you're she because I can't see the picture, but you might be a he, or you can tell me actually which gender pronoun you prefer. That's the best. But they said, I'm a traveler too, but I never left the States. There's always a place I feel like I left my heart at. What place do you feel like you will always have your heart? Dang, that's a great
That's
question.
an amazing question.
All right.
Well, actually, like in terms of traveling, like I know sometimes traveling outside of the country can be really difficult, and Since that's not really something that I'm able to do, I have made a concerted effort of like trying to explore places within the United States and been like, it's I know it's difficult like because it's such a huge country, but being able to do that like it's been pretty cool at times. Definitely a lot of cool places to see, but in terms of like a place that I feel like I've always left my heart, I think I'm gonna go to Switzerland. Like I don't know why I love that country so much, but
I might know why.
um, girl, like you're getting a little messy over here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to like touch the tea, tap into the tea a little bit.
um, no, like I I think I just had such an amazing experience, and it was like a place where I really grew as an individual and like came into myself and like realized a lot of things about myself. Um, and I always think about it. It's just I don't know why I'm always drawn to it. You know, if I could have an opportunity to go back, I would, but it's kind of hard. You know, I've having a lot of family kind of scattered all over the place. I've been fortunate enough to do like a decent amount of traveling outside of the US, so it's kind of hard to just like choose one place. But
RPM says he hears a lot of good things about Switzerland, actually, like just about the country itself.
yeah,
So,
people are like really. I mean, they're not as friendly as like Americans, but I think it's just different. You know, like that's just cultural differences, but they're really kind, and it's a beautiful country, and everyone is like really welcoming. Yeah, like it's amazing. And it's funny, it wasn't really ever a place that I'd considered to go traveling or just like considered to live in for an extended amount of time. So I think maybe that's why it has such a special place in my heart is because I was surprised and kind of taken back by how much I loved it there. So
ooh, now you're making me want to go. Let's go now. But like, not really. Obviously, that's like a little rough. But in the future, I'll be like, let's. I'll call you after this, and we'll pop over there. RPM, is there somewhere that you would like to travel to as well? Like a place you said you had some places that you feel like you've left your heart in. Where would those places be by chance? I feel that for you about Switzerland. I'm gonna probably tap the tea again in the future. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe after another sip of this thing, I will. I feel I feel the same way about Ireland, like or just that summer. Honestly, like Europe. I would really love to spend some time there. Obviously, there's other places too, but
yeah.
like us going to Amsterdam, awesome,
Oh,
100%.
I like loved Amsterdam. Like that would be a close. And let me tell you, like one who's we saw like we just have the every time we're traveling together, like we just get into like the craziest shit. Like these people have like the weirdest experiences. It's always a memory, like something's going down. So yeah.
100%. That whole Amsterdam trip was a blur. No, the whole like summer in Europe was like a blur of adventures. You and I like just go in different places. Sometimes it was with people. Sometimes you and I were just like fudge everybody. We're gonna go do our own thing. Oh, it was awesome though. Like I really needed it
I
to grow.
remember I'll never forget the night that like we all sent you off because I think I had gone back to the States and most people were, but you were like off to go to like Belgium or something. And like you had you had that one bag that like wouldn't zip and we're there like trying to pack all of your clothes and like situate yourself for like your early bus the next morning, like the 8-9 hour bus that you had to take. That was like one of the like such a core memory for me.
It's so weird. I like backpacked in Europe for 2 weeks after that with the bags that I left with, like that giant suitcase. Dragged that through Belgium. Nobody knew English. I didn't know Dutch. Like it was just a whole. It was a journey. Dragged that suitcase through Germany. No, didn't know German. Was just like calling this like massive Czech bag size bag, like in the streets, like in regular streets, past
Yeah.
shopping malls and stuff.
One of those bags, I remember like the zipper was broken, and we
Yep.
were like stuffing things in. We're trying to lay it so that shit wouldn't like come flying out as you're walking down these like cobblestone streets.
It's
That
so
was
funny. I don't know how
so
I got through it.
trip. So many core memories from that trip.
I feel the same. I do appreciate though that all of that summer definitely taught me how much you can handle by yourself. Like I feel like we get really afraid that like we won't be okay if we're just like thrust into like a new environment. That's at least what I thought. I was like, I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna know nobody. I'm gonna just like sit in my room in a cube and stuff. But instead, like being pushed in that way, even though it was uncomfortable, like I met you because of it. I met like a bunch of other people too. I
Yeah,
found out you can
like
survive in a country if you don't know the language.
right. That whole experience, like even just being in Ireland, like I learned so much about myself and like learning to be really comfortable being on my own and like building relationships with people. And I think that that stands for like, I mean, not it's not just like a traveling solo type of thing. I think that any chance that you can get to like make yourself uncomfortable and push yourself to do something you wouldn't normally do, it just benefits you. And you
Mhm.
know a lot about yourself and being like more comfortable, you know?
I agree. Definitely, I know it's harder right now, but like anybody who gets the chance, you should push yourself and like go somewhere out of your comfort zone, even if it's like a staycation thing. Like if there's a city near you that you haven't visited, like go take a weekend there or something. Like
Absolutely.
just
It's
to,
even like going to go to a museum or like some restaurant or cafe or something that you've wanted to try, you know, forcing yourself to do something uncomfortable, I think always for me at least has led to like some of the greatest adventures that I've been able to have and most unique experiences.
say.
Um, yeah.
Oh. Sounds like our PM has an experience. He said, believe it or not, I got arrested in Louisiana once for drinking. The
Oh no.
charge was leaning with the intent to fall. But anyways, I had a good time with the people I was locked up with. What does
Oh
that mean?
yeah. I don't know what that like the charge leaning with the intent to fall,
Are
but
you
I
not about to fall?
don't know that like what that was like.
Yeah, what was that like, RPM? Like, could you explain what that charge means? And he said, good people have always made anywhere I was at much better. And
I,
that's, I feel the same.
I totally agree with that. Like
Vibes are so important, which is what like roots our friendship because you have such great vibes. But I just feel like in general, like vibes are really important for who you choose to surround yourself with.
yeah, you could like it depend like in any situation or any setting that you're in, like
Mm-hmm.
it really matters who you surround yourself with, 1,000%.
Facts. Just why we have each other. You they can charge you with anything down there, so they make up anything. They really charge you for like almost falling? Like that was a real charge that you went to jail for?
That's insane to
That
me.
is insane. I have never heard that before, so we will
No, just
swiftly be avoiding these.
I've never heard either. But that makes sense then if they're just like making shit up.
Oh no, what is America coming to? Where are we going?
Trivia.
Okay, I do want to hear more about this story, RPM. If you have more to like
Yeah.
more to share, please do. Also, I see there are 5 of you in here, so what's up, y'all? You can also say hello too. Welcome to the chat. If you don't know from the title, this is Kaleha. And we're focusing on travel right now, but we're gonna go into a bunch of fun topics today.
We
We
do
are
this is a new experience for me streaming, but it's fun because we do this so often.
you and I already talked for hours, so
We
we might.
do. When I was looking at some of your videos and I was seeing that like they're like, you know, over an hour, I was like, what was that? There was one time I think we were on the phone for like 6 hours straight, swear to
Yeah,
God. And I was like, oh my God, okay, yeah, I should probably go. Like we both have things to do.
like
But
a quarter of the day.
yeah,
It's because you and I will like get into a topic and then we'll like keep going and going and going and going. Like
That's
one
what I
thing sparks another thing sparks another thing.
that's what I love about our friendship, honestly.
Oh, literally same. I appreciate, and I mean, I know I can do the same thing with the community, like the Chi TV community that we have is like pretty cool people. Like occasionally there'll be assholes who enter, people who are being either like overly aggressive or like overly sexualizing me or like situations. But in general, like the people in this like community who like pop on when I stream are always such great vibes.
Yeah.
Such
Well, it's awesome.
mm.
It's really cool to have like an online community, like
Yeah,
get to cool. I like just on the topic of just connecting with people. It's cool to be able to utilize technology and do that.
I
So
agree.
yeah,
That's
have that.
honestly at least what I hope Chi TV like becomes. Like all of us just like figuring out life together. Cause I feel like none of us really know what's going on. So like at least we could all talk about it and then figure out maybe like how to work
Absolutely.
through it better. Okay. On the topic of travel and RPM, it sounds like this might have been yours, but Kalea, your scariest moment while traveling? Do you have a particular moment that stands out that was like not, it was dicey? Ha, no pun intended.
I didn't hear dicey or dice. I'm like no night. Like I just heard no nights off. No nights off.
Let me try and find these videos. I will show you guys as Claire explains her scariest moment. But some of the videos of us in Ireland, y'all, they're funny as fudge. I
I
can't even.
can't like. There's so much like cringy shit that like we did that I even did. I can't even believe that I did that. But I also can't like knowing me and my personality. Like I
100%.
believe that I did those things. Anyways, um, scariest moment. I think okay. I've definitely had a bunch, but the first one that comes to mind actually is when I was in Switzerland and I had been dating this guy and I had taken the bus from like my house to his house and it was like one of the first times that I had done it and I didn't really know where I was going so I had my Google Maps up and I remember as I was walking down the street and the thing about Switzerland is like everything shuts down like at like 7 o'clock like everything is closed um restaurants, grocery stores, like everything. And so it's an interesting city because as big as it is, everyone by 7 o'clock is just inside. And I'm walking down this street trying to like navigate my way to this guy's house and I see this other person approaching me. I couldn't even see their face. Like all like decked out in black, like they had a hood up. I couldn't see who they were, like what they looked like, nothing. And usually just like walking alone by myself, especially being a woman, I just try and focus on my destination. Like music isn't in my ears. I'm just trying to get to where I need to go. And I noticed that this person started following me and
Mm,
started to get really scary. And so they say, like, obviously you become aware of a situation like that, and then the rule is like take like 3 rights or something like that. And I was kind of like weaving in between like alleyways and on different streets, and I'd started to notice like this person is following where I'm going. So I got on the phone and contacted this person whose house I was going to let them know. And just as I like was cutting through this alleyway to get back on the main street to where they were going, a van had pulled up and they speak I was in Geneva at the time. They speak French, which I've been learning for like the last couple of years. But this guy, this group of people pulled up in front of me and in French were asking like or telling me to like get into the car, and they were driving like a van like to get into the van, and I kept saying like no and walking, but they kept following me. It was like one of the scariest experiences of my life. So then I was just like I started sprinting, like running to try and get to my destination, which I did safely. But the entire time I was being followed by this like hooded person and a group, like a van full of random people that were trying to get me into the car, and it was like one of the scariest situations that I've ever been in for sure.
oh my God.
Yeah, that
That's
was
so alarm. Do they have like really good street lights and stuff? Like, was it very well lit or was it
yeah,
very like
it
low lit?
was. Yeah, it just there was no one on the road. Like there weren't any cars, there was nobody walking on the sidewalk or anything like that. Like everyone is inside.
Mm. Oh
So,
no.
so that's
I'm obviously super happy that you are safe.
me too.
Yeah, like that's not okay. I know we live in a weird world
But,
though,
like
but like
happens. Like I know I'm the first person to experience something like that.
which is
Um,
also garbage.
I know, but it happens. You just gotta like stay safe and like so.
Hmm. So sad. I hope one day I could like come out with like a line of tasers. I've thought about that. Just like a line of like cool colored tasers.
I actually found this like it this really like cute line that somebody has of like tasers and like um knives and shit like that.
Oh,
But
that's dope.
so it's very like artistic and creative in how they do it, and they sort of camouflage everything, which I thought was interesting. I haven't really seen anything like that, but yeah, like you really got to think of those things when you're traveling, especially traveling by yourself.
Mhm.
For sure. So, yeah, that was definitely a moment where I was like, holy shit, like this is fucking scary, but
Yeah, no, that is really scary. Even the description of this story is like not not ideal at all, of course.
no.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, and hopefully never happens to you again, or like it starts happening to less people than it does now too. I guess like tied into that, then what is the best piece of travel advice that you've ever gotten?
I think the best piece, and just kind of like playing on what we were talking about earlier, is just like to push yourself within reason, like be smart. But okay, listen, this is the best travel advice I got. Push yourself and try to feel comfortable even when you don't feel comfortable being on your own, and like meeting new people and getting to know people. Some of my coolest memories have been when I'm on my own and just like striking up a conversation and approaching someone that I thought that was cool. But in that same respect, always trust your gut instinct. So if something is like giving you a good feeling and you're feeling like I can do this, regard like even if you're feeling uncomfortable, like within reason, like absolutely approach that person. Or if you're at a restaurant, like talk to the like someone who's also sitting on their own or ask to join them. Like it's really, really cool the kinds of people that you can meet and experiences that can come out of that. But on that same note, it's like if something isn't feeling good and something doesn't feel right, um, at any point, if you're interacting with anyone while you're traveling, like absolutely listen to that gut feeling. I think that that's also a really good piece of advice that I've gotten.
That makes sense. That was
Yeah,
beautiful. That's like gonna be a quote. I'm definitely gonna clip that, like highlight that for sure. Because I feel like that's just an important piece of advice for all of life, but like definitely for traveling. That's
yeah,
oh, I learned a lot. I feel very similarly about travel, just like and about what you should like be looking for out of it and being open, just being open to life in general and like what it has to offer rather than like cutting yourself off or limiting yourself, but also within reason, like being safe.
1,000%, 1,000%. It's
All
so yeah.
Does anybody else, if you have one, RPM or any of the other people in here, if you guys have a travel advice tip that you'd like to drop, please let us know. So I'd like to hear other people's, like, if there's a particular piece of advice that you got out of traveling, like, what did you learn? So that we can learn from it too.
Absolutely.
But, we've like danced around this topic. I'm going to just sip my tea real quick. It's not even
I
tea.
know what's coming up next. I already know. I'm ready.
So, the feels, the love. I don't like if you guys don't know. Clay is a Leo.
Oh
I'm a
yeah,
Cancer. So,
didn't like already noticed.
very bubbly, very like lovingly fiery. Just like you can like float around like people, but you're also very like inward focused as well. But like you're a very good people person. I feel like you're good at connecting with people. You know, I know both you and I have had some relationships over the years. I'm gonna start with something kind of simple, I guess, and then we'll get into more of the tea.
Yeah.
But what are your most important rules for going on a date?
Do you mean like before or like as I'm like in the whole experience with someone?
You can give me both. Either one.
Okay,
Either
a
or.
little mix of each. I think the first one is definitely like remaining authentic and feeling comfortable, being myself 1,000%, and like ensuring that obviously the person that I want to date, I want them to like know who I am, and I want to be like really like these, everyone's a bit guarded when you first meet someone. Like you don't have to like tell your whole life story, but like just getting to know them and like remaining true to yourself and authentic to yourself, that looks like for you, is like major, because you want that person to at least get a glimpse of like who you are. And I think that in doing so, like that's like a great way to be starting any sort of relationship or situationship with anybody. I think a big thing also is like being honest, like honest with yourself as well as honest with the other person. And that just isn't, that doesn't just encompass like um being your authentic self, but like being really upfront and honest with the person as like what you're looking for, and yeah, just like what you're kind of expecting and like hoping to get out of
Mm.
that whole ordeal, because I think that in my past experiences, I always haven't been super upfront with the person, or just like haven't felt comfortable enough to know, like tell them like, yeah, I'm here to like date more seriously instead of like casually, and that has never really played out to my benefit. So that's like with myself is like be authentic, one, to be honest about what you're looking for and like what you're sort of expecting, or what you're trying to invest in. And then what other rules do I have? I think like a big one just like that I have with myself is ensuring that um from the jump, like the person that I'm with is respectful and communicative. And I think that there's like, even if you're meeting someone for the first time, you'll be able to get that out for yourself. But as soon as they kind of like show you who they are and like show you how they treat, and you can tell that by like how they treat other people as well. They talk about people, like sometimes how people like talk about their exes tells me a lot of what I need to know. So I think just like being aware of that, because I think for me at least in any relationship moving forward, respect is major, and it's not just like respect for myself, like respect for me and respect for themselves, but respect for other people and interacting with other people. So I think that that's another huge rule that I have with myself, is like ensuring that that is a quality that they have. And if I feel like they've shown something to me that I feel doesn't really align with what I'm looking for, or like my values, like being pretty honest about why that's not going to work for me, and also like honest with myself as like, this person could be great for these reasons, but ultimately like this is super major in terms of what I'm looking for a partner, and I don't really want to compromise on that. So that is like definitely huge for me. Those are like some roles.
No, those are really good. It's like a double-edged sword, I feel, because you can only really learn a lot of those lessons by trial and error. It sounds like the only way that you could have learned it is going through them. Like even when you were talking about communicating what it is that you want exactly, like
Yeah.
from multiple times of not communicating it as openly is where then you learn like, no, this isn't, it doesn't really work if I like kind of hope that they catch the drift, like that we're all on the same page without actually having the conversation of like,
Right. Some people like you won't like nobody can know what I'm thinking or especially when you're having that conversation and like what you're looking for. And many times in the past I'd be like, I don't really know. I think I'm just kind of like dating to see where things go so that I felt like I wasn't putting a lot of pressure on the other person. But
mm,
sacrificing was being honest with myself about what it was I was looking for and also like prioritizing or thinking more about the other person than I was also prioritizing my own needs and like my own desires, I guess, like moving forward and pursuing whatever relationship it was with an individual. And I think sometimes, even though it's difficult to have those conversations, especially if you've been talking before and you think that they're really cool, ultimately, like, it's better for both people to be like 100% honest.
I agree
Mhm.
100%. It's not easy for sure, but it produces the best outcome for like what you're looking for. Even if it's that you just want to like situationship or just you trying to get around, then like at least there's people I feel like of any gender all the time who want purely that. You can
Yeah,
find them. Like rather than getting mixed up with people who like want something more serious, you could just like
right,
direct your energy towards somebody who also wants to just like mess around right now.
right. And that's like, I mean, I think anyone has been in that stage in their life, be it in a committed and serious relationship is not what's for you. And that's totally okay. I think it's important to go with whoever you're interested in to be very honest about that. I've never appreciated being situations where I've been honest about what it was I was looking for and the other person hasn't and like tried to tell me something different for the sake I think of like continuing our relationship. And it's like there's like over 7 billion people on this earth. If it's not me, you can surely find somebody else that you're connecting with that could probably fit your needs better. Um and I just think like out of respect of yourself and the person that you're being involved with, like you owe it yourself and that person to be honest.
I
So
agree 100%.
yeah.
We're all gonna have to work on that. But I mean, I know you don't have that issue right now, which is good. But everybody, we're all gonna work on that. Being honest, upfront, direct about your feelings from the jump.
Yeah.
All right, I like that though. I agree. I feel very similarly. Lots of learning experiences, but being. I think that goes back to your like 2022 goal of authenticity, just like even in your relationships with people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I definitely feel that. For
Yeah.
sure. Um, I still have a lot of questions for you. The three of you have any questions for Kaleha too? Like RPM was dropping some gems. Definitely go ahead and shoot your shot. Kaleha and I are here to answer them. Or if you need, I know last time on Wednesday I did a stream in the morning, just like kind of randomly because I have committed to doing a stream every Wednesday. And then but I knew the day was going to be busy and we ended up just like talking about life. Like we were giving so much advice to different people. Like somebody kind of wanted advice on somebody they were interested in and somebody they were seeing,
Yeah. Totally
and
hear.
all like gathered rallied together to like support her the best and be like, this is what you should do, stuff. So we're always here to help with that too.
Absolutely.
mm, what like factors or like feelings matter most to you when trying to figure out if you want to see somebody again or like be with somebody, and like how do you decide what goes into that process?
Um, I think like the biggest thing. So I actually had this conversation with someone the other day. Conversation is like the biggest way that I connect with people. You mentioned it. Like I'm a very extroverted, like bubbly, outgoing person, and the way that I enjoy connecting with individuals is having conversations, like getting to not only know them and seeing what we have in common, but also just like having conversations about race. So one of the big, um, one of the first like big ticket items that kind of indicates like whether or not I'll see a person again is how well. we were talking and like riffing off of one each other and having um, an engaged conversation. It was coming from both sides because I've
Mm.
definitely where it was a lot of me carrying the conversation or just, for the sake of we weren't getting along for whatever reason, we weren't really connecting or speaking. And that's like a huge factor that determine whether or not I would see somebody. Um, I like to come away from a date, especially a first date with someone, feeling really excited to get to know the person. So if I'm feeling excited, if I'm feeling really comfortable, um, what else? I think those are like really the big two things. Like excited and comfortable in the beginning. Not only to get to know them, excited to share more about my life and who I am and to do things together and experience things together like that is like a huge indicator to whether or not I'm involved or like what I'm looking for when I'm dating someone or especially coming out of that first date. In terms of like other factors, like I said, because I like speaking with people and having conversations, I think that you can learn a lot about a person, even in ways where you're not like directly asking questions. So, like, huge factors. I'm looking at like body language, I'm looking at how they're treating people around me, like the things that they're saying about people around me, that they're saying about should the like topic ever come up, which it almost rarely does, but like their previous relationships and things like that are all just like indicators to tell me a little or like give me a glimpse as to like who they are as a person. So that is like definitely sort of like my baseline for judging whether or not this is someone that I'll be like moving or just want to invest my time in.
That makes sense. Okay, I feel that. I feel like conversation is huge. Like if you cannot hold a conversation with each other, then like how are you supposed to like last life
Yeah,
together? It just doesn't even like it doesn't make sense. The hard part is though that there's a lot of people you can be drawn to conversationally who are like bad for you in like basically other all other ways.
absolutely. And I think unfortunately in some ways kind of time will tell. Usually I can tell within the first month, but just from my own experience. But yeah, definitely. I and then if I'm not comfortable with you, like fine, everyone's nervous on a first date, but I want to walk away from the end of the date like feeling excited and um comfortable enough to be honest and like express who I am more and
Hmm.
like to let my personality continue to shine through. Like if the comfort aspect is not there, like I'm not continuing with someone.
Makes sense. I feel the same. It's got me in a little trouble being drawn to people who talk really well, but I agree. It's important though. I definitely have some very similar feelings. I have some other ones that I know like you and I both semi share, but like the intimacy charge in that dynamic is also important. Like if you can't match the energy, then like how are we supposed to do that for like 30, 40 years? It doesn't make sense. You definitely have to, and that's not necessarily all pure physical things, but just like intimacy period energy, even if
Yeah,
it's emotional intimacy.
absolutely. Like on every level. If it's not physical, it's like mental, like all of that chemistry like plays a massive role in determining whether I think I could be a good match too.
I feel the same. I know when I was like before, I used to tell you and Alina that like sex life was like top three in the chart for me in terms of importance. Like if we can't, and you would think, especially there's been a situation with somebody that might be a whole different stream conversation situation with somebody with like a micro penis, and there's just no way that we will. It wasn't even that. It was like his lack of confidence tied into that that really just
Because
killed.
and I can speak for both of us to say, like, if it's really not about the size, like, it's about the motion of the ocean. But I
Exactly.
think there are things like, you know, everyone has their insecurities with whatever that looks like, but I think owning up to like, um, and like embracing yourself and being confident, and that's like huge. I think for anyone, being with someone who's confident and really portraying that like makes a big difference. I think it also kind of determines what the chemistry aspect is looking like, you know?
I agree. 100%. 1000%. 1000%. I definitely, yeah. Let me before I say too much yet. Let me chill out.
I like think back to who I want to know who you're like. I'm trying to think back, and I'm thinking like, who is she talking about? But I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't. Actually, I recently saw that he's getting married, which like good for
Wow.
her. Whoever this girl. It's not somebody I dated very long. It was like in a very brief period after. I guess I don't mind saying the name because it's on Facebook. So technically, if anybody like wanted to like deep stalk me,
Is
they will find it.
Yeah, you could tell me like, are they from your hometown? Are they from school?
Definitely
That's
UCLA football. After the UCLA football player, there was a 6 months period where I was just like, "Fuck the world." I
the,
that would actually fuck the world, huh?
the was it the double date? Like, remember the guy that like was interested in me from WAS?
Yes, yes. It was somebody
It
with
was it was him.
yeah.
Hey, okay, okay. I know who you're talking. Let's not like air him out or anything like that.
I'm happy for you moving on and all the things, but yeah, he definitely was. It wasn't for me. Some other female somewhere seems to be with the jams now. It wasn't
Right.
happened to be my
Embrace it more and like
exactly.
someone who they really mesh well together.
But definitely all that to then taught me what mattered, what I like can and can't take. And that's something I can't take. We definitely have to be able to match on the same energy. um,
Huge for me also.
in your current relationship or a recent one, but also current
Yeah.
relationship, what are some of the things that your partner or ex have done or does that leave you feeling the most loved?
Oh my god. So I think we can. I mean, you knowing my dating history, like I have not dated good people. I've dated awful people actually. Horrible,
Same.
very um like not kind, and those are things that I value. I want to be with someone who's selfless and who's independent but also wanting to like build something together and who appreciates me for me, isn't trying to like, change me into something that I'm not. And also just like the bare minimum of just community respect, which has not always been a theme, but I think currently, like, I couldn't say, there's just so many things that I could say about this person and how they make me feel. I don't even know where I would be able to start. But I think some of the things that make me feel incredibly loved is like his communication and his understanding and his appreciation that he has for who I am as a person. I don't think I've ever felt like more seen and more appreciated in a relationship before, or just like because we're not together, but like a situation before. And the lengths that they go to be very patient with me, especially coming out of relationships that have been pretty toxic and not the healthiest. And really just like centering each other, and doing things together and being interested in things that I like, and you know him appreciating me being interested in things that he likes and doing things together and trying new things. Like there's so many things that I could say, but I think ultimately the major things that just really make me feel incredibly appreciated is um how easy they are to talk to, how easy it is to communicate any of my needs or just like things that I'm feeling or lacking or any of my grievances within our situation as we continue to get to know each other because things are like quite new. Um, and just like I've never felt more appreciated or just I think how interested and curious he is to get to know me.
Hmm.
I think that that makes me like feel incredibly, incredibly good.
Oh, as you should.
Oh,
Everybody,
money or anything.
that's how everybody should feel, though. Like everybody should have somebody in their life who makes them feel that way.
I agree, and I
If you
think
don't, you're around the wrong person.
right. And there was a period of my time where I really was not feeling that from anyone that I was dating. Yeah, it feels really good to be with someone who cares a lot about me. So.
You know, the bare friggin' minimum. You would think
Yeah,
that that's just like a basic requirement of all things, but it doesn't even work out that way.
it's kind of I don't want to sit here and like glorify those things of like oh my god like somebody that treats me with respect like I mean that is the bare fucking minimum and you're I shouldn't take nor should I expect anything less but unfortunately that hasn't always been my experience so I guess it's just like nice to have a change which has been really fun.
It's all a learning experience, helping you learn about yourself, about relationships, what it is that you wanted and didn't want, and now you know. And now you know after this, like
Absolutely.
moving forward, no matter what, these are certain things that you want and that you value. I feel like every relationship gives you that, like a lesson, good and bad.
Yeah, exactly what you said. You learn something about yourself, you learn something about who you want to move forward like you can learn a lot. And I think that I always center that, especially in my previous relationships that were awful. Um, as hurtful and as hurt as I felt like coming away from it, um, it definitely taught me a lot about myself and moving forward what's important to me. So that's always made me feel better.
Oh, as you should. As you should. Do you feel like your love language is like quality time? Is it touch or acts of kindness or like
Um,
gifts?
I think that like all of those things encompass my love language, but I would say like my major ones. I don't know why, but I could like care less about like acts of service if it even happens. I don't know if it's just because that was what I was modeled when I was younger. um it is awesome to have someone help me out and help make my life easy and like want to do that. So but that's like not something that I'm like oh like this is really important to me. I would say quality time slash physical touch and then verbal affirmations are like huge for in a relationship.
I feel the same. You and I basically have the same love languages
Yeah,
because it's literally exactly the same. Quality time, for the most part, quality time slash touch because those are big, and then words of affirmation, like how we speak to each other.
absolutely. I like to hear. I don't know. Like I think verbal affirmations is huge. I think especially um, being in something here now, it's like nice to hear that because I was so used to hearing people say things about me for the sake of putting me down. So I think that that's become like a language of mine because it feels nice to hear someone say things about you or like things that they appreciate about you or that they like are enjoying the time that they spend with you. And then I think that that equally ties into like quality time because I enjoy spending meaningful time with people um, and like creating memories together. And I think that that kind of offers me a lot of reassurance as well within a new relationship and it's definitely something that has always been like a big part of any relationship. I mean, not even just like romantic relationships, but friends, like doing things together with your friends, like huge. Um,
Mhm.
I've always been like a really physically affectionate person. I know not everyone is. That's not like super important for me to have from a partner. Like, there's definitely ways that I've been able to mitigate that and a lot of the times it's through things like words of affirmation. So
I feel the same. I definitely feel the same. Touch is tricky now in COVID too.
that is,
Yeah, but I feel the same. That it honestly hurts a lot to not be. I miss college for the fact that we were all in the same place because now just everybody being so spread out, that hurts. Like I love that we're able to like maintain friendships digitally, and I like that's an amazing aspect about the internet. But at the same time, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like we can't go to brunch or like go explore a random coffee shop, and I do miss those like the quality time experience.
yeah. I also am just such like a sentimental person that I just like really hold on to things like that. Um,
Same.
like those are like super meaningful. 1,000%.
I
Like
literally like have
really
pictures of
when
you.
we're about Ireland.
That's literally what I was about to say. I was just pulling it up. I was like, I literally have pictures of you in 2018 and just like random moments in life that I like, and it was little things. Like I think there was one day that you and I went to that cafe and got that
Remember that that like sponge cake and we sat
oh,
and we had
and the tea, sponge cake and tea. It was
talking together, you
such
know.
a simple moment, but like I remember that so vividly, like so
Yeah,
vividly. Oh, so cute. I feel the same. Hope I appreciate though like that we've been able to maintain our friendship at a distance because I know not everybody can and not everybody has. And a lot of relationships crumbled in COVID, but I felt like yours and mine and Lena's blossomed in it. And I'm like really great. That shows to me like a testament of like it doesn't matter where or how far.
yeah,
You
just
still
like low maintenance friendships. Like we get each other, like we understand one another. We're not like talk. We don't have to talk every single day, but you know, like when we do, we talk for hours.
like actually for like 6 hours.
Joking, but I love that. You know, like I love that, and you know, it's just things that I hold really dear about friendships. So
Me too. Oh, I'm in the getting me in my feelings. In my feelings right now. Okay, it's not really like very serial, very serious. As we should, life is real and like feelings are real. But like in a semi switch to like a more funny vibe, but like what would you say is the funniest first date story that you've ever had, if any? You can ponder it.
I gotta
It's a
ponder.
hard question. It's a hard. I feel like it's kind of tough. Oh, yeah.
I feel like you have something.
I definitely have a sprinkle of those things.
That's that sigh. I'm like Sachi has a story.
It's kind of like it's definitely like an R-rated ish story, though.
I don't know
Oh
what
God,
your streaming channel is.
I'm gonna try and keep it PG-13 for our young ones, but like I'll still explain. But again, that like period I went on after football player, there was like a 6 month period where I was just kind of like, I want the world type of thing because I had been like so deeply loyal to him that and I hadn't really dated anybody else at that point.
Right.
He
Oh,
took my virginity, like I was really like unexperienced in that way. So I was like, I need more.
yeah.
So bad. There is somebody I saw, and I don't know. We met at a restaurant, and like his vibe was just like very intense. Like he just like was over like almost overcompensating, like a machismo energy, like trying to be like I'm
Yeah.
I'm cool. I don't know. I don't even know. Like I'm
You're like, no.
yeah, like just be yourself. There's no need to be like so extra about it. But like at that time, I was very frustrated in different facets of life. So I just kind of went with the vibe. Took me to a Mexican restaurant. I can never say no to fajitas. Like I'm never gonna deny fajitas if somebody's offering them to me. And it was like okay, the conversation went.
Never say no to get dressed up and like go have even like a nice meal with company, you know?
Exactly. It's like, why not? You get to look cute a little bit. You get food.
Or like, we're treating each other like
Exactly.
my
And it was a necessary period.
right,
Um,
like the way to my heart is through food. So
exactly. I feel like the way to most people's hearts is through food. Like, at least I think so. Maybe I
that's
missed something.
experience. So
But like my thing was at the part after the dinner, we did go to my apartment. At that time I was subletting in an apartment that had like
was
three.
that the one that I've been to, like the usual one?
No, it was right the
After that.
summer before, or like just a few weeks before that. I like subletted over the summer. This was like over the summer. I was doing summer classes. I lived in I guess I could say like I can say where now, but it was like 433 Midvale. I don't know if you ever went there. That place that had those like three beds.
Found your address.
It was so bad.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, in Los Angeles or something, and you're like, yeah, this was my address at the time.
Because it's not my address today.
It doesn't even matter.
Exactly. You won't find me there. So like it's fine. You might find college students there, but like also there's a gate and they have a security thing. So you can't just be bopping in there. But I did bring him in there with like it was one of those rooms that had three beds in a room. Like they were definitely like maxing out their funds on that one. Like they're making a lot of money off of packing us all in one room. But I subletted a bed from
It's
this girl.
a room with two other beds.
Yes.
Okay, so like, like what a dorm room was like.
Yeah, essentially like a slightly like add 100 feet to a dorm room, and then like that was the room.
Which, if we're talking about like what it was like dorming with two other people at our school, like that's not that bad. Like that's doable.
Yeah, it wasn't even that bad at all. I mean, obviously everybody would like more space if you can have it, but it wasn't terrible or anything. I appreciated it for the time. Was like living out of a duffel bag. Didn't really like I didn't have kind of like what you described in your New York experience. I didn't have that much space to myself as much as I would have liked. The
Like
kitchen was always disgusting though. Like that was horrible. That was a whole 9 girls in one apartment is like
no, a gross kitchen in
horrifying.
your room, like
Ugh, gross. Even the bathroom was like questionable at times.
literally
Oh, but this individual, again, like I've mentioned, a healthy sex life is important to me
absolutely.
in my relations, long-term relations with individuals. And I have never seen this before. Like obviously, all of us. This is where it gets PG-13 R-ish. All of us have pubic hair, right? Like that's just a thing. That's like
Which
nature itself. Pubic hair in places and stuff
I mean,
like that. And so, like, I've seen that before. Like, that's not unusual. What I did not like was that he had pubic hair, like, on the thing itself, like, on the actual shaft. There was hair come
yeah.
out of it. I've never seen that before. I was like, why is this so coarse? Like, actually, like, why does this feel like sandpaper? I literally, it couldn't get behind it. And I kind of just, like, awkwardly, like, made him leave after that. I was just like, I can't get behind this, bro. Like, this is a
It
lot.
really, like it was bad. Like was it like
It was too sand. You know that in my mind, that's supposed to be smooth. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to
I
be
could
like
also understand like if it was like painful for you, like while you guys were like engaging in certain acts, or just
it
like
was. The hair literally made it like sandpaper. Like, literally made it coarse. Like, actually coarse. Because it's like a black male's like curly hair. So like, it's not thin and like soft. It was like kind of already rough-ish to begin with, and then like on top of that, it's not just like around it. It was
that
like
had
on it to the
uh,
whole on the
right.
whole thing. Oh god, I was just like, oh no, no.
Yeah.
It was a no for me. It
I
was rough.
I've never been one to like tell people what to do with that. I think like ultimately it's what someone is comfortable with, but there definitely I think there's a bit of a limit because you want the person to enjoy, like you want two people to enjoy any sort of level of intimacy that they're engaging with, and like if I'm hurting or I'm uncomfortable, I think that that's definitely where I've had to sort of say something.
I mean, we should both be happy in this. Like, it should not be like just one of us is
Yeah.
getting joy from this experience. Like, I need to have a good time. You need to have a good time. We all need to have a good time for it actually to be a good time. And like, I just don't think he was like very focused on that for me. He was very like aggressive, kind of forceful. Just lack of personal grooming really got to me. I was like, dude, you cannot expect this to actually work. Like,
Yeah, or like this is not an experience where both of our couples being centered.
and this is like a semi side note, but I don't remember who the guy was, but some guy told me that he like had an experience with a woman who didn't like also maintain her own, you know, private area in terms of the hair. And he said that when he was with her, it felt like his body was like rubbing against sandpaper and he didn't want to tell her because like he felt bad, but just like it was so rough against the skin. And ever since that, that made me hella paranoid. But it makes sense. Like you got to put an effort into taking care of yourself for that
Yeah,
as well.
depends on the individual, and I think that I can understand, and that's like a fine line of like you never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
with the making with their body, and like you want not only to feel comfortable together but just like comfortable individually. I would never want to say anything that would make someone feel insecure or something, because I don't really anyone's intention, or really shouldn't be. um but definitely like because I know it's being like recorded and put out on the internet, but I think that we can all say we've had our experiences with um certain situations that have been less that.
I agree, 100%.
So,
That's definitely a whole stream in itself. I feel like it's definitely probably a less like I'd have to be like less consciously aware of the fact that we're being recorded to go into the details.
I'm not gonna lie, like because we FaceTime so much, I keep forgetting that this is live. There's like a bunch of other people
What's up, y'all?
like being like interacting with this conversation. Um, but
I
yeah,
just this literally just feels like a FaceTime, like a longer catch up FaceTime.
I've since as you were telling your story, I've been really trying hard to think of like my own, what was it, like first date funny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just I've had so many, honestly. Like, give me a bit more time, I can think of a bunch of stories. But I would say that the one that comes to mind was one of my ex boyfriends when we started dating. It was like our first date ever. We'd gone to this restaurant, and then afterwards, had gone back to their place to watch a movie. Like one thing sort of leads into the other. We're both adults here. And as we were like starting to get into it, his nose bled
Oh, oh wow.
all over my face. It was disgusting. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Like all over my face, like all over my body. It was also because it's just like it's blood. Like it just wasn't.
The
It
vibe.
was like okay, because we ended up dating, and like point, like it was fine, but it was just like when you're first meeting someone, and I'm talking like all over my face, like near my eyes, like everywhere. I was
How do you react to that? I don't even know what I would say, like how I would even like.
even know because it was like kind of dark, and they were like, oh, they covered their mouth, and then they got up really quickly. I was like, are you okay? And he was like, I have a bloody nose. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't even think it like really clicked for me. And then he came back with a paper towel, like here to like wipe your face. And I was like, I didn't even know I had it on my face. I like went into the bathroom to look, and I just had like, it was okay. Like looking back, it was fine. But when you're like going out with someone, and it's like one of the very like first time that you're hanging out, and that had happened, I was like, this is
You
bad.
know, that would throw me off too. Not even, especially the first time that you don't even know, like fully can't remember their last or middle name yet, and they're bleeding all up in the crevices. That's intense. That's intense.
No, that was a bit more intense. But
I guess it is a cute story to me. I mean, obviously it didn't work
I
out.
mean, once
But
we started dating, and like from a house standpoint, it wasn't anything to be concerned about, you know. It was funny, but in the moment, I was like, okay, all right, this is a
that's
new.
that escalated very quickly.
I'm trying to think of like what other ones I've had. I don't know. I've had just like weird. I'm trying to think. I know that I've had some weird ones. I've never had like one of those experiences with someone where it's been like from from the jump, it's been like strange. I've never had something like that because usually I end up like talking with people a little bit beforehand, and I can kind of like gauge whether or not I think that I'd want to, go forward with actually meeting with them in person. So
Mhm.
kind of screen people out that way. But I'm sure if I've had like if somebody were to ever set me up on like a blind date or something, I'd be able to have a story.
Makes sense. I
Yeah.
feel I feel that. I actually haven't. No, the one blind date I've been on brought me to where I'm at now.
Oh yeah.
That's my only experience with blind dates has been positive so far. Everything else was like
Yeah.
people online, and they really were hit or miss. Even though I did no, yeah, yeah. Most of the rest of them have been people online, and those are really hit or miss. Like I've
Yeah.
dated some people from online, but like sometimes they be hitting, and sometimes they really just be a train wreck into a ball of fire, into a shark's nest, into a bee's.
Okay, so this is thing that like I can't do really well with. I've met up with people to like go on dates, and sometimes we like meet up to just hang out, like a more casual situation. We're not like going somewhere like out to eat because it's just more casual.
Mm.
Like getting together to go like hang out and like smoke or something. And if if I am coming to your house, like brush your fucking teeth. Like I've like gone to meet up with people, and I don't have a problem being honest with this. Like their breath has smelled so bad, and I've tried to be really nice about it because I also like bring it. I can't bring myself to like tell someone that because I know that it can be like kind of awkward, especially when I'm like meeting you for the first time. But there's been situations where I think they've spent like the majority of the day or like the evening doing that, and so by the time we like meet up to hang out, because it gives you like dry mouth and stuff. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, no, that's gross. I just feel like overall, like again, the self care thing. Like if you know somebody's gonna come, like all forms of self care, like inside your body, outside your body, and even your space. Because I've seen some people with some really nasty apartments, like really nasty apartments.
Really? I've
And
never had experience.
oh my god. I like oh god. There was one really bad. That's like a whole different stream. Like that's like a story. I don't really talk about it very much because like the end of it ended up being like a not like safe-ish situation. But like I went on a date. It was actually at USC for somebody on the rowing team, and we are supposed to go out, and then it didn't really work out that way. First of all, also on in the middle of this date I discovered that he's like super into cosplay, like dresses up and goes into the park, like grown man, like 25, 23, 24, and he was like, we
And
should
that's
go the next day. He was like, you want to come with me, like we could go like to the park and like
when
drive.
you're like,
Like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this. But
yeah.
his bathroom was disgusting. Like it was horrible. Like I was looking around at it, and ever since then I like kind of scope out somebody's house like when I'm in there for the first time to see like what's your self-care looking like. Like if you have like shaved hair on the sink knowing that I'm coming there, or like your toilet bowl looks like it hasn't been like scrubbed in like 2 months, and like there's like a rim of dirt in your shower, you have clothes on the floor. I can't do it. This
Mhm.
guy can do it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I tend to just like have a hard time with on like rooms, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
like
like that very well.
if
But
you can't clean your bathroom, God knows what's happening in your lower region. Like that's like super. You can't do the out exterior. The like, how do I know what you're doing with the interior
I also
compartment areas?
I think also like for me, like more importantly with something like that, it's like I don't like if I am in a space that I don't feel comfortable with, like I just don't feel comfortable in general. So then it's like hard for me to be as invested, I guess, or just like be like comfortable enough to do that.
I
Or
feel the same.
yeah, then I start to think like when's the last time you washed your sheets or I don't know, just
Exactly. Oh, I am Kamau said, hey, hey, hey. Hello, friend. What's poppin'? Brand new whip just walked in. I know a bunch of people, a bunch of you guys are in here now. So what's up? We were just like kind of, I forgot about people's because you guys were chatting. Clay and I were just kind of like going on our own rant. But hello, everybody. If you don't know from the title, this is Kaleha. We have been friends for half a decade now. She's my super cool, super bubbly Leo friend. We met in Europe and
we did
study abroad, trying to do physics. Good times, good times.
great.
And yeah, we've been getting into all the things. We talked a little bit about travel. We've been talking a little bit about romance, the feels, dating, and all that vibes. Because her and I just always be having stories about.
Like I'm curious if anyone is like willing to feel comfortable enough to share, but to hear anyone else's like dating horror story or just like action. Um,
I feel like you and I are just always going through like a similar wave at the same time, like in life. Like even when we met in Ireland, you and I were both like working through like either like the ending of a relationship, kind of
mhm.
like you when you've been kind of dating, you were dating abroad a little bit. I also was dating abroad a little bit from Ireland. Like, oh my God, yeah, we had to X him out of the equation.
I told that guy.
Ugh, just most men are no, you know what? I'm not even gonna put that on all of y'all. Some of you are wonderful beings. The ones that I had experience with,
We're generalizing.
exactly. We relax. I know RPM. You seem really chill earlier. I'm Kamau. I know you're lovely. I know that there's good peoples in the world. Just like the ones I was picking before was like not. It wasn't the move. I can say that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm Kamau. How is your afternoon going? Evening going? Evening.
Evening. I
Evening. Y'all, why y'all picking the bad ones, man? You know what? That's a great question. I wish myself could answer that. Like,
so I've actually like thought about it a lot.
okay, go into it.
I think it has to do with like the
Yo.
that I was modeled growing up. Um, just like we're always like super healthy relationships. And then I think sometimes you just be getting involved with like the wrong kinds of people, and especially when you're young and you're having these like new relationship experiences, you're especially if it starts out bad. You know what I mean? Like you're already the first person, your first big love, like not great. It kind of informs you as to like what you think is normal until you date someone where you're like, this is very different and like extremely healthy. And this is what a relationship should be like. So that's why I think I often was picking the bad ones.
That makes a lot of sense. Now that you like put that out, I feel like that was the same. Also, what's up, Splendid? I see you also said yo. And RPM says, hey, it happens, which is true about like finding picking the wrong one. I feel the same. The like my bar was set like in a weird place that was both high and low. Like our relationship definitely like the first really big one I had in college showed me a lot of like what I did want out of a relationship, and also especially what I did not want and what you should run from the hills from.
Absolutely. But the thing is like sometimes you need to. I'm sorry, I've been like fidgeting so much. This
No,
chair's,
you're okay. I
but
feel the same.
I think that you kind of need to go through those, like, in order to figure that out for yourself. Like, if you don't have those kind of not so great situations and relationships, then you'll never know.
Facts. 100% facts.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I'm Kamal said, I've seen those TikToks where the girl is the main character and she is hella as the background audio list qualities of a trashy guy. This is where we come to the nice guys finish last thing. I don't think so. I don't think nice guys really do finish last. I know everybody's gonna be like, oh no, they do, da da da. But I really think like the bad guys, bad boy guys might get in first.
yeah, but it gets so old so quickly.
Exactly. Like it really does.
With a lot of my friends, is like, what was this?
Oh, Splendid said bad relationships are like training for the real deal. I agree with that. I feel the same.
I think that like nice guys don't always finish last because I think that we like even if it's like the one relationship that's really bad, you're like this can't happen again, and it's
Exactly.
for that person. So,
Deep down, even the girls who are like attracted to really toxic stuff, I think all of us want a good relationship. Even like toxic people usually like especially I think in a female sense if they're not being themselves a toxic one, like somebody who's dating constantly toxic men, you date them because you hope that they will become better in
mhm.
some capacity for you. So like at the end of the day, nobody's like out there like, yes, thank God this is bad. I feel like we're just you want better and you don't really know what better means until you go through it and then you start to understand like, oh, this is what better looks like versus like this isn't it.
I see said that a lot of red like we ignore a lot of flags until we learn not to. I think that that's true as well.
Exactly.
The
Even
learning,
it's all a learning experience. Life is literally just one big learning experience, which is like kind of frustrating. I really kind of wish there was like a guidebook on it where it was like, you should know this. Like, I feel like there should just be a guidebook for adulting where it just like runs through page slide of like what you should know, what you shouldn't know. Taxes would be included in there because I don't know what the fudge to do about that, but just all the different aspects of life that like
yeah,
you need to know about. But I was thinking about that, and even if there was a guidebook, would any of us really even listen to it? I feel like all of us would still do what we want to do and then still learn the same lesson after through it. Like if somebody explained to you,
for some things I wouldn't mind a guidebook for sure.
hmm,
But I don't know.
I'd like to say it would help, but then I also know I can be stubborn and be like, I need to experience it myself. So, or
Yeah,
like
sometimes like,
I'm a different.
before it like really sticks with me, you know.
Exactly. I feel the same. Yeah,
But
even Splendid said agree.
without like all of the trauma of like dealing with a shitty situation and just like know what I'm supposed to do.
That would be really helpful for all of us. I feel like, oh, but at least we're learning. It sounds like every single one of us is like learning, and that's all we can do. You know,
Yeah,
getting better day by day, moment by moment. But life, I mean, our relationships with people are super important, but life isn't just about the relationships with people. And I feel like you can't really do relationships with others unless you have a good relationship with yourself. And like you spend a lot of time working on yourself and growing as a person, that usually then attracts the type of person you are like supposed to be around.
yeah. I think I think with everyone, like as we get older and like are experiencing adulthood and moving through, life, we learn a lot about like self discovery and things like that. So I think that
Exactly.
everyone be on that journey of self exploration, like experiencing and like entering new relationships. I think that that's what makes a lot of relationships successful too.
100% agreed. You need like a life partner to explore journey through life with, but also like do your own self discovery about how you want to journey through life. I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
In like the, I guess, the notion of self-discovery, right? You lived in a lot of places. You've lived in a lot of places. I don't know if you realize that sometimes. So nice guys finish last is all I'm hearing. No, that's not true at all. That's not what we said. We definitely,
Well, so far they haven't. Like, I mean, no, I don't think that that's necessarily true.
it depends on when last is exactly, because we're both very young. So like if we are dating nice guys now, then like is that last? What are y'all doing in this self-discovery? What are y'all doing in this self-discovery phase with? Last is last. LOL. No. Well, okay, I can't even argue with that. I wanted to be like, no.
Um. Wow. Okay. It's funny because I feel like I've always sort of been in this stage, but I think that since this year has started, I've been taking it a lot more seriously. So I guess, okay, what are things that I've been doing? I think that's something that I'm really interested in exploring and like cultivating, because one thing that's important for me with any relationship is independence. And I think if you're able to be independent people, have independent goals, but at the same time want to share life experiences with someone, like that's amazing. But I think for me in this like self-discovery phase, tapping into my own self like identity and figure out who I am and who I want to be, and things like my value system, and um I don't know, just like tap into that a bit more. And I don't think I've always done that, and I also think that with a lot of us, especially being younger adults, especially like having grown up with technology, we were really robbed of that experience of being able to do that. I was just having this conversation with someone actually the other day. um, and so I think a lot of that discovery phase is being really honest with yourself and like learning different aspects about yourself and your character, and like understanding the good and the bad and embracing those both aspects, and using that to kind of figure out like who you want to be moving forward. And I think everybody should be doing that. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. And I think, on the subject of relationships, it's important that people be doing that now, especially because I know your 20s, compared to like most other areas of your life, is when you experience significant change, like with your identity and your character and who you are. But I think that everyone also, like, it doesn't end here, it continues as you get older. But I think that this is just like, your 20s and 30s are like a really big time for that to happen. So that's sort of what I'm doing right now in my self discovery phase and enjoying it. Like, it's not an easy journey to be going on, but I think trying to find the ways in which that you can enjoy the process and have like a very open mindset about everything, that definitely helps.
My bad. I'm afloat with the clouds. So my thoughts switch up on me and then I type my tangents. I think the saying is a little faded. I meant who y'all with romantically while in this self discovery phase. Oh, somebody, I am come out pressing the T today.
I mean, like, would you ask that, like how, what are you wanting to know in terms of just like the kinds of person, or like are you asking, are we with the nice guy, or what is it? I'm
Yeah,
interested to know. I think I need some clarification.
same. I also would like some clarification.
Because definitely at this present moment, I'm with the nice guy for sure.
Man, you know what I'm asking. Hello. um, oh, this just got a little hot in here.
First,
mm,
my first. Are we naming names? Like, I don't know.
oh, are we naming
I, I don't know. Like, is that I don't know.
names? I would say we can talk about like what they how they play into this self-discovery phase, and then maybe like drop a, not a name. Let's be real with each other, you know what I mean? um all
You
right,
guys,
yeah, drop some of like the qualities, I guess, that like how it ties into self-discovery, and
sure.
then maybe drop in like not name but like essence for a person.
You go first.
Oh, okay. Oh, all righty, all righty. So, I know that a lot of people have been asking me about a lot of people on the streams have been asking me about this.
Really?
Yeah, I've been
You're with?
yeah. Okay, I'll talk with you about it right now and maybe with all of you guys together because it really might be in my head and I don't know if it's necessarily true. Like a while back there were some, shows that I used to watch of the not necessarily exactly who I'd like to become, but like people who kind of emulate a little bit of the lifestyle of what I want to become. A lot of them are content creators, particularly like female fashion content creators and stuff. And I mean, my focus isn't really only fashion, but I know one of them mentioned that like when she was dating people and she would like include them in her like social media, she would end up losing like such a large mass of people interested in like engaging with her. And I think, I guess maybe because it partially like makes the fantasy of like, oh, I could like potentially shoot my shot or something like that die.
Okay. And that's why you've like kind of hesitated from being honest.
Yeah, like or just being so like transparent about it. And it's weird because at the same time, I see on social media a lot of people who are like building brands completely built off of like being in a relationship as well. So that also kind of makes me like a little bit confused. And then even just like, what do I want to be known for? You know what I mean? Like, do I want to be known for like being like in a successful relationship, or that I myself alone was able to like
Right.
be successful? That's something I've been like kind of been dabbling with. So I haven't really talked about it as much because I was just like, I wanted to focus on like me becoming successful beyond just like being in a relationship, even though that relationship is really, really important to me. And it doesn't take away from like, I don't know, I think it goes maybe like the past few years have put pressure on that, but I don't feel like I have very much for myself right now. So like at the very least feeling like I had like my success for myself at
Mhm.
least was something that was important to me, but I also feel like that's kind of stupid at the same time.
Mhm.
If you
That's
are
that's definitely like things to consider.
right.
Especially with being like showing a lot or just being honest about yourself and things on social media. I'm seeing here in the chats, nice guys finish last, change my mind.
False. Nice guys don't. I mean, okay. Okay, even if that's true, right? Let's switch that up, right? Even if that's true, I would rather they should rather want to be last than first because that means you're the final one. You know what I mean? You're the one who's gonna get the girl at the end of the day. And I feel like isn't that not where you'd rather want to be than like somebody who's at the beginning who like fizzles out, like might be fun in the beginning, but then like you don't actually get the person in the end. Like nice guys really are the true winners, even if they do finish last, because you guys get the girl, which is the whole goal.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be, at least I'd rather be the last person somebody dates than the first one because the first one they have no idea what's going on. I also had no idea what was going on when I was first dating too. So like I get the person who's kind of matured beyond the BS basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm in a little something. I'm in a little something right now. And I would say it's definitely contributed to my self discovery just because, as you guys heard from Kaleha and I's previous like 40 minutes, both of us choose garbage people. So previously chose garbage people. Let me relax.
Or that's been the pattern.
Exactly. And those garbage people were really important for my self discovery. But at least now, kind of like what you were describing for your situation, it is really nice to be in like in a place where I feel valued and respected and heard. And that feels like it's a priority, like a very constant priority. I never have any like doubt in my mind that like my feelings, even if it's like moodiness, will be respected and be like listened to, even if it's like you need to relax, like you're
Yeah.
just like in your feels right now, or it's not that serious, but I will always be heard out, being
Yeah.
appreciated and loved for the person that I am now, the person that is still growing, loved despite my shortcomings. I haven't really had that in the right way. And somebody who's very willing to like work with me through like my inner demons and just like life itself. Because most of the time, I feel like people are just like, I don't know, very self focused. I mean, at the end of the day, we all are kind of self focused. Even wanting a relationship is for yourself in some way. But having somebody who like makes a priority of like wanting to like love and care for me the way I'm at, the way I
Absolutely.
needed to be loved, has been nice. And it's taught me to do the same for other people, not just in relationships, but like my friendships too. Just like love people the way that they need to be loved, not just like how I feel like I should love them, has been a huge lesson. Somebody who's been pushing me professionally and emotionally and mentally, like to be the best version of myself, the version of myself I always wanted to be. But like,
Yeah.
nice explanation. I believe that if you really love someone, then you stay with them through everything they go through. Yeah, and I agree. It's just definitely harder in the world we live in today. Like that's just not really prioritized the same, or even like encouraged the same way as it was before. Like most people are just kind of like I'm in and out type of thing, or like I don't know, thinking very short term,
Mhm.
or like when things get hard or like uncomfortable,
Yeah.
you just kind of dip rather than working through that.
I think I agree. I agree and I disagree. I agree in the sense that okay, answering the first question in terms of like who you're with in the self-discovery phase. I don't know if you're in something that's like toxic and in a situation where someone isn't respecting you or like giving you the space to be that person. I don't even think it's possible. So I know for in my own experience, like I am in the self discovery phase because I'm with the nice guy. Like I'm with someone who respects me and like okay, yeah. I sorry, I'm just like reading the chat.
No,
Um
go for it.
but I do agree that like yeah, I think that unless the relationship is toxic, I think you have to center your sorry, both parties must want. Yes. Like if the relationship is toxic, if you feel like you're not being respected, if you're not able to like communicate and really cultivate that with someone, then yeah, like I don't think that that's the case, but I do think that relationships are hard and maybe at times they've been like overly romanticized to seem like these really easy things and I don't always think that that's the case and I think that sometimes we have to think about the fact that you're with you're in a relationship with another person who's different from you and you yourself are a human being and nobody's perfect but we all have the capacity to put our best foot forward and be our best selves and that plays into not only accountability on your part but also being in a healthy relationship where you have that flow of communication to be honest with one another and I do think that that is definitely true like if you're in the right thing then and you feel like you're being respected and it's healthy and you're benefiting from it um, equally then I definitely think totally reasonable because every relationship is going to be hard get
Facts.
forward like that's just a fact
100. Even and especially friendships, I feel like I like literally all relationship, family,
yeah
everybody.
so
Aw,
many
splendid said, well said. That's so cute. Well, okay, but I mean, Clay is an incredible speaker, but we knew that already.
things.
We knew that already.
I feel like hold on I'm trying to adjust myself here I don't know what's going on here there we
Oh,
go
okay. I definitely feel it about it, like things moving a lot. My computer, I still haven't like
sorry
perfected this.
I've been like super fidgety this chair is uncomfortable my computer screen is just not cooperating
Girl, I feel you. You are not alone.
apologies but yeah these are some great questions like I feel like we're getting into some really good topics here
Me too. Like a lot of self reflection today, a lot of personal growth and like development on just like so many different levels, like relationally or just like independence, which I personally also feel very like close to my heart at least. Like I want to be independent, but it's weird because we live in such like a connected world and it's
Mhm.
important to be connected at the same time. Oh, splendid. Said, "You are right. Every relationship will be hard. That is a relationship. I believe that if it wasn't, or there weren't any rough times, then there would be no growth." That's very true.
I agree with that. I don't think um like that's gonna happen, and since it's the inevitable, I think that that's also what like brings you closer to someone is when you're able to like especially work through those rough patches, centering like respect and communication, and I think that that just like pulls you closer.
Facts. Everybody, we're all on the same wave. I agree. 100%. I love that we're like getting into self discovery because I feel like that's such an important aspect of life that I don't feel like we all ask ourselves enough questions about. So, for you, Kaleha, and then for everybody too. Oh, my wife would like this dream. Tell her to pop in. Splendid. Tell her
Please,
to come on through. Swing by. We'd love to have her.
the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Of course. She's sleeping. Oh, okay. Well, next time. Next time. Obviously, Kalei and I will always be around. I know we're going to plan an adventure in the near future. I'm trying to visit her in New York in sometime this year. So that can be its own little streamed adventure one day because I
Uh,
really want to go. It's just New York's kind of like on lockdown right now, which is like a
which is
little.
not well, it's needed. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, of course. We're definitely not downplaying that situation. Hmm. Um, when has the last time that you felt deeply inspired and why? And also everybody else who's in here too. I am Kamau, Splendid, RPM, the lovely other three, four of you who are in here as well. You can answer this too, but Kalea in particular, when was the last time you felt deeply inspired? I know it's a tough question.
um this is like I okay, I'm gonna answer this truthfully because also with these kinds of questions, it's funny, like I think about them and I draw a blank, but I'm gonna go with like the first person who came to my mind.
Okay.
Um no, I don't know if I wanna hold on. Let me think about it.
I support this person. I support this conversation about this person.
I
I
think you know what I'm gonna say.
have an idea, but Splendid said when I met my life partner. That's so freaking cute.
That's so fucking cute.
Good
I'm sorry.
for you. Good for you. What made you know that it was your life partner,
I
Splendid?
would
Like,
love to know that too, but I was gonna say like there's so many people in my life right now. Like I think that I could point to a lot of different people for like various reasons, but I think on the subject of self discovery, um, I always hate like showing my emotions though. But I think the guy that I'm dating right now, like I felt really inspired by because I think that it's like a lot of things that I want for myself and just like the amount of like self-confidence that he has and like love for himself and like other people and just life and like independence and adventure, like there's just so many things that I think in as our like romantic relationship is developing but also like our friendship because I would consider him like one of my closest friends at this point now. I think that in many ways like he inspires me a lot in terms of um, things that I want to achieve in the next few months. And
oh,
so yeah, I think that that's like really it's like really nice because I've never felt like that when I've dated somebody. But you know, like I could point to like a bunch of my friends or even family members for different reasons that I feel inspired by. But I think just on this theme of like self discovery and journeys and stuff, I like identity and things like that, those are I really feel inspired by that person.
Oh, everybody with their partners creating this inspiration. That's so beautiful. I feel like we don't hear that enough, like in the media. Like I feel like we either hear like either really extreme relationships or just like a lot of the negatives, or like relationships that seem overly glorified of positive, like kind of the Instagram, YouTube couples who like look super perfect, but never just like the average person every day. Like what is like inspiring you, and even like what inspires you about your partner, like how that dynamic, we don't get to hear that as much. So like that's beautiful. Both you and Splendid both feel like inspired by the person you're with right now, you know.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
feel like you, you're so hardworking and so kind and compassionate.
thank
And
you, friend.
like that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to just choose one person because I think that I admire so many things in a lot of the relationships that I friendships and like family, just
Mm.
you know?
I feel like that's how you know you're doing it right. If you're like surrounded by people who like you also like admire, or, like adore in some way, like then you know you're like around the right types of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I agree with
I definitely feel the same. I went like on a whole Instagram rant yesterday, like, and I want to keep going with it because I really enjoyed it. But like, just listing out like all the people I know who inspired me, like in their different like industries or for what they were doing. And I think people really appreciated it, but I also like enjoyed just reminding everybody because there's so many different people too. It's really hard to put it in one. 'Cause different people inspire me for different things,
you. Yeah.
about relationships, some about friendships, some about like fashion and beauty, some
Yep.
about like professional growth, some about romantic relationships. I feel the same.
Yeah. I think you can
No.
do different things from multiple people in your life have like a significant influence or just impact wherever you're wherever you are in your life journey. So
I agree. Oh my goodness. Splendid came in with the love, with the feels. All right. I know she's my life partner well because of the reasons we just talked about. We both want to grow, improve, and be better. We call each other out if or when we go astray. We've struggled and got through this struggle together and got closer because of struggling together. Dang, that's beautiful. Every time there's a rough patch, whatever the reason, it brings us closer. We feel closer. On top of all that, she saved my life. Oh my goodness. Splendid, you're about to give it me in the feels. I mean,
um,
I already was in the feels a little bit, but
I yeah, we've done it, but that's really beautiful. I think that like to be able to experience that in your lifetime is super special, and to find someone that you can do all of those things with and like experience life with is just like amazing. I think everyone deserves that. Um,
thanks.
but yeah, that's the fucking goals right there. Like that's
Goals.
that's
Splendid.
a goal.
Splendid. You are hitting the goals that we
Yeah,
all want some, but I think you're getting there for sure. You guys are working through it. Still very young, but like
same with
you're
you. That's
yeah.
so like I'm just like imagining, like I know we know each other and like I don't know everyone else who's in this chat, but it's like fun to kind of have a conversation, be connecting with people like over the internet like this, and it's just like really sweet to hear like a message like that. Like I can imagine that if just like hearing your partner like saying that about you, like that would be so sweet. I don't know.
Oh, all right, splendid. So when this live, whenever we finish, obviously it's gonna be on there. So you just gotta send her in, bring her to 2 hours and 4 minutes. You feel me? Or like maybe like 1 hour and like
Yeah, but
50 something minutes. Let her hear that part back a little bit. Get yourself a few brownie points.
but that
Because
was really sweet. I've always wanted to know. Like, I also think just like being young it's like cool, or just like being very like new in meeting someone and like being in something more serious.
Mhm.
Um, it's like kind of it's like nice when somebody has sort of found that life partner to hear how they knew that, or why and what's
Mhm.
cool for them.
There's definitely always something to learn. I feel like if you're willing to listen to people who are like happy and in love, doing well.
Mm.
You said I also would do things for her that I would do for no one else. There used to be things that I said I would never do, like getting married, but now look at me. Oh, you guys are married? Also, what's up, the poet? What's poppin'? Brand new of this one. The gang is all here. Well, not all of them. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of like OG regular people who show up in the streams. The poet's definitely one of them. Splendid. I know you're like in and out. I am Kamal's also in and out, but they like always show up. So I'm
Yeah,
glad to see y'all.
everyone.
Splendid. You just like set the bar super high for everybody. Everybody move forward. You got to get it together. Get it together.
Read.
Is there any older person in your life that you look up to? Oh no, Splendid, what's wrong?
I guess I'll like wait a second.
Yeah, what happened? What happened? That was also a tough question.
Can't really see.
It's popping right now.
I
Like
think the first person who
I meant he said I meant to me setting the bar high. That's a good thing though. Keep that bar there though. Keep that bar there. We need more people doing that.
I think my mom, like honestly,
I had a feeling that would be.
inspires me. She's an amazing woman. She's been through a lot this past year, so I just like I admire her so much. She's definitely like one of my biggest role models, and I feel really lucky to have her. So I would say, yeah. I mean, you've met my mom.
Your mom is awesome. Oh, your life partner again. That's cute. Kaleha's mom is super cute. I know she gave me like a beach towel that is somewhere amongst like my 9,000 boxes from when I was forcibly transitioned back to the East Coast because almost all of my stuff is still in boxes. So it's somewhere in there, but your mom was super sweet. What and splendid. You said she's everything. That's so cute. Sure, right? I hope if our partners are listening to this, I hope you're taking notes. Just throwing it out there. Splendid.
I hope to mean like be that important to someone one day. That's the goal.
Oh,
That's the goal. But yeah, say my mom for sure.
what does about your mom inspires you?
She's just like one of the most like um compassionate, kind-hearted, thoughtful person people person that I know, and she's just like super chill and like really non-judgmental, and like I think I just admire a lot of things about her. I admire her strength. I admire how she looks after people. She's like very selfless in that way. I also just like how she sort of opens our house and our family to my own friends, and just like creating this really awesome tight knit community. People, you know, comprised of my family members and my friends and people who are important to our lives. And I don't know, like I really admire that about her.
Understandable. It's honestly something I also admire about her too. She like really took me into that like very brief period, but like took me in with such like open arms.
She still like loves you so much, and
It's mutual.
so
She's definitely always in my prayers too.
yeah, she's like a little bit of a rough year, but she's doing really well now.
Good, as she should. She definitely, of all people, deserves it for sure. Oh, yeah, no, honestly, Kale's mom is dope. Maybe at one point when I visit her, you guys will meet her.
Yeah,
She's
she's
just a cool person, like truly a cool person.
Yeah,
definitely like a lot of natural love to give, like just a very naturally loving person.
yeah, I definitely agree. She's been the blueprint, I think, for me.
Oh, that's cute because not everybody has that too. Like,
No, I feel really lucky to have that. So
mhm.
yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, so cute. So I know your family is like kind of spread out, like in New Hampshire, but also in Colorado, but also in other places. But I know that like your current heart is kind of in New York.
Yeah.
So what is it that you like love about New York? And like I guess how did that play into your self-discovery?
Mhm.
Because it was kind of like, I mean, you've been in a lot of places. Like you've lived in like 7 cities, I feel.
Yeah, all over the place. I like New York. I think having grown up on the East Coast, like it's just oh, what are you cooking? I'm curious to know. I just saw that.
Yes,
Um
but drop the recipe. Go on. But go on, Clay.
but New York, I think just like being like a young adult, I just see myself in a city, and I think having lived like we went to school in LA, having lived there, there's just like a lot of self-discovery that happened, and I don't know, I just appreciate like the amount of opportunity and diversity being in New York City, and it's just an insanely cool place. Like there's so many different kinds of people, all different sorts of experiences, and like I said, opportunities. And I don't know, I there's just like something about it. It's one of those cities where so far it's been kicking my ass and testing my limits, but I think in some respect I really appreciate that about that city. Like I appreciate that because I think that it pushes me to continue to be independent and like learn things about myself and do things that are comfortable and just like take responsibility for things, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to as much as I can um in my 20s. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
It's like so weird, but good, but bad because I know every generation feels like they grow up in a bad time, but I just also feel like we grew up in a bad time. Like coming into adulthood right now just like sucks booty. Like
Yeah,
it's just so hard. Rent is expensive. Like the vast majority of everybody in our age group live at home with their parents because it's just really challenging to live on your own right now. And like so you kind of talking about taking responsibility, I feel like is really cool and beautiful because a lot of people I think are just like kind of either being forced to sit. Oh, oh wow, a nightly water cleansing. What does that mean exactly? I'm
yeah,
intrigued. But yeah, the fact that you want to like kind of take responsibility for your life, I think it's a really cool trait that again not everybody has and something all of us should be trying to do even though it's really hard. I feel like the fact that you're just even putting out the energy to do that is
mhm,
going to draw you closer to it than if you were just kind of like sitting in like kind of being stagnant or just like
yeah,
sitting in this other place that you don't necessarily want to be in, like actually working toward where you want to go.
definitely. And it's not easy at times. Like I said, it's been testing my limits. I think that speaks to like a lot of New Yorkers or people who've moved to that city, similar experiences, like being in our age group. Like you're just going through a lot anyways. So yeah, but I don't know. I just really like it. I like the people. I just really like the vibe of the city, and as difficult as it's been and trying at times, like I feel really grateful to be there and have the opportunity to live there. So
Girl, I feel like that's at least how I feel about LA. I feel like the same way you want to go back to New York is how like a very decent part of me still like craves Los Angeles a little bit because it does for me what I think New York did for you.
hmm,
Just like the push and self discovery, as much as it kicks your butt, just like the energy, the vibe is very much in line with like
mhm,
my vibe as a person.
yeah,
Want it to keep pushing me. Like I want to grow more there. So it's like kind of painful not being able to do that. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me say yet, because we never know.
I haven't been to LA in so long, honestly. I feel like I left so abruptly because of the start of the pandemic. I've been really wanting to go back.
Me too. Me too. I was like ripped forcibly, like dragged out of the state, like kicking and screaming, low key. Which I get it. Like I understand why I needed to be, but just like I didn't like that I was like left on any other terms besides my own. Like rather
Uh,
than being like I don't want to be there anymore. Like the situation didn't allow me to be there. Like I didn't like that.
yeah, it's like you have unfinished business there, or you just need to live
Exactly.
your life and you haven't really had the opportunity to do so.
I feel exactly the same. But I know we're gonna get back to where we're gonna go. Just even the fact that we're like thinking about it and working on it, working towards it is already like the first steps that you need to take.
Hmm. No, I agree. I agree.
Oh, okie dokie. Well, obviously, like I'm totally down to keep streaming and keep talking about life. That's all because we can. But final like plan question for you
Hmm.
was is how can I be a better friend to you? Or is there anything that I could be doing to be a better friend to you that you feel like? And it's okay to tell me. Like I'm this is the constructive criticism moment.
Honestly, like I really could not think of anything. I think that you know, like the friendships that I hold dear to my heart, like it's very non-judgmental, very low maintenance, which I like in terms of like we can, be busy and understand that we're being busy or need to take time for ourselves in whatever way and then have a conversation and pick up right where we left off. So I don't even know what I can't even think of anything. Like I don't even know what I would say to answer that question. But
Oh, I feel the same though. So, like, if I was asked the receiving, I would have answered the exact same. But I wanted because I've never really asked that before, and I feel like that's a semi-important question to ask. Like, just because like you might not notice what you're not doing as well, not being as present. Okay, do you stream on your own? If not, you should definitely think about it. Ooh.
I'm not okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually just speaking with the guy who I'm dating because I I've I game like here and there, especially like my older brother's a big gamer and um well I just like talking. So if
You know?
I'm speaking to someone in person, I'm FaceTiming on the phone. And I have thought about that. And so we've been talking like on and off about starting a channel or like me doing that because I think like I said, I'm not really big on like other social media platforms, but to have the opportunity to like chat like this and like interact with people I think would sort of suit me more. So it is something that I am very like I'm really considering. Think I just have to think through what I would want to be making in terms of content. So yeah. Um,
Oh, I am Kamal said you definitely should put something together. You got a
so
great personality.
yeah,
It's true though.
I love to chat. Like once I start, it's really hard to get me to stop. So, but yeah, like I said, I think that that's just like something that I love in life is being able to connect with people, and I think that this is a really interesting platform because it's fun to be able to be with someone who I consider one of my closest friends, but also be able to connect with all of you guys here in this chat and like interact with you and get to learn a little bit about you guys. Like it's pretty cool.
I
It's
think you would thrive as a streamer on the highest of keys. Like it's also very low maintenance and the fact that you can do it when you want to as well and just like do what you already do so well, which is like connecting with people.
yeah. I don't know, maybe I'll do it. Yeah, I tend to. People tend. I've heard before that I'm like decently easy to talk to,
You
and
are.
I talk. And you're right. Like life is too short. I might as well just like take that step. So why the hell not? Like I'll think about it. There's a really good chance um, that I will. Like we'll be able to let you guys. I'll let Sachi. I'll let her know, and we'll talk about it. So
If slash when you do shoot, we will definitely do more collaborative
absolutely,
bingo hoppers. We could do a whole things. Whole
absolutely, this is like the first time that I've ever done something like that. So
I was
yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
I will keep
I'm
you guys
excited
posted.
to keep chatting with you because like this is really fun.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we don't have to, that was just all the planned questions I had. We are definitely free to let the wind take us where it wants to take us. That was just the questions I thought to cover.
For a little bit longer.
Yeah, I support you being on Twitch. And if you want to, like, if you need any help with the setup portion of it, let me know. I
Girl,
definitely,
I'm gonna need all the help I can get should I decide to. I was actually looking into it because I don't really understand. I'm not familiar with the platform, so
nor
uh,
was I. I'm definitely like learning a lot more as it go, like as it happens.
yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely did not understand before. Like, what am I supposed to be talking about? Like, who talk about even this like talk show concept? I've been like, oh, I always wanted kind of to do something like that, but and I think when like you watch Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or whatever, and like those types of people, it looks so easy. And maybe it's because they've been doing it for so long, like it just looks so effortless. But then now, like in this stage of like trying to develop my own talk show, I've just recognized like how much harder it is in the sense that, like sometimes, especially the first time, I was like, I have no idea what to like do here. Like, how do you know where to like go and stuff and guide? But I feel like every week that I try, I've learned a little bit more about
Absolutely.
like, the platform. So I agree with having come out. Just like take the step and then you'll learn as you go.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Like it's stuff I'm sure it's a learning curve and the only way to do it is to just jump in. But I think this talk show thing is like super cool. And I was thinking about this the other day because I know that you love to do a lot of the content creation stuff, and I was thinking like this is just like the perfect thing for you. It's
Thank you.
fucking
I always,
doing this, you know?
it goes and comes in waves. Oh, okay. I missed the introductions, but what are you passionate about? Gaming, talking, etc.
Um, well, I don't really feel like I like really went into that. I kind of did a really brief intro, but I'm passionate about a lot of different things. But I guess to start, like I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up out of the country a little bit. Like Sachi and I talked about that. We both have family from overseas. Um, I snowboard and I skateboard a lot. Gaming, like I'm not like a gamer, I guess, but I think it's something I'm trying to get into more. And then, because my older siblings are really into it, and I've sort of like spent the years hanging out with them and doing that. But also, the guy that I'm dating like really likes to game, and I do like gaming. So, that's something that I'm getting into more this year, which I'm really excited about because I actually enjoy it quite a bit. Um, Other things that I'm passionate about, or just like my interests in general, I'm really big in. I just love nature. I'm really big into gardening. I have a lot of houseplants. I have like 25 or something. Like it's
Oh
insane.
my god, I did not know that.
Oh,
But I
I don't know. It became like my thing over the last year. Um,
no, that's awesome. I literally also love gardening, but I haven't been able to do it as much. So the fact that you have 25 plants is awesome. They're hard
I
to maintain.
and it's definitely a learning curve. Like I have always considered myself a bit of a green thumb, but have had my difficulties keeping some of the plants alive. We should talk about that more. I started growing seedling plants to like grow herbs and stuff like that in my apartment. Um, and
Ooh.
propagating um plants from my like current house plants that I have, like cuttings and things. But that's like some of the stuff I like to do. I'm really passionate about movies, like love thrillers. I love horror movies. I love doc.
Yeah.
Um, it's so funny. I'm like weirdly really scared of the dark, but I really love kind of like creepy stuff. It's all about that, and like it's so weird, very contradicting like that. But what else am I passionate about? I'm passionate about like I guess like talking to people, connecting with individuals. I love to help people and just like talk about anything and everything. I'm passionate about traveling. I like traveling and road tripping. I love to road trip.
She does.
I do. What else? Like there's a lot of things. Cooking. I love to cook. I think that as I continue and get older, I sort of discover things that I'm interested in and do things that I want to try. I've actually been keeping a list for this year of things that I've wanted to look into or try and experience. So I'm also just yeah, I'm also just passionate about that. I'm passionate about like pushing myself to do new things and try things that I might not have been interested in before or things that I've always wanted to do. So yeah, that's like a bit about me, I guess.
Oh, the introduction. That's cool. Even I learned. I did not know about the gardening. We definitely can chat about that.
Yes, we should talk about that more. I'm just reading.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, that could be really cool.
yeah. The self-discovery journey. I feel like a lot of people could learn just from like your experiences
Mm-hmm.
in general.
Be down to do something like that for sure.
You've definitely been going on like a self. I feel like that maybe the past like 2 years have been a really like self-discovery journey, both intentionally and unintentionally.
Definitely. No, I agree with you. Definitely. Definitely. I'm enjoying it though. I think at first it was hard, but now I'm just having fun with it. I think that's
Yes. I feel like the beginning is always gonna be the hardest.
definitely just like getting into things, learning things about yourself. But I think now I've reached the stage where it's all about trying stuff. So
I know that.
trying stuff and getting to know myself, and that sounds like a lot of fun.
It I feel like you've like I've even watched you coming more into yourself and like being more comfortable with like just yourself as a person in the world, which is awesome.
Definitely. Definitely. I think we're both
Oh.
in the same sort of place. That's the other thing about like you and I is we tend to sort of like our like experiences in life tend to match up like really well.
Yeah, like whenever she's going in the thick of it, I'm also usually going in the thick of it. When we're doing well, both of us are usually doing well at the same time.
As soon as the other person like starts and then it comes to like, well, how are you doing? I'm like, well, you've pretty much summed up what I've been going through if I'm being
It's nice to have though somebody who like understands when we're going through the same things, like
a
the
lot.
experience. Yeah, like professionally, romantically, like you and I are always like almost in the same realm. Oh, that's so funny though.
It is, but I think it's fun. It's like nice. I mean, because I think everyone goes through these things, but it's fun to like have a friend who's like at that same space, you know?
I agree. Oh, I'm Kamal wants to know if you are in or out of uni.
I am not in uni anymore. I'm out of
Ugh, yeah, we were just thrust into like a thing like that. It's so disrespectful. Like there was no warning. I mean, I guess there kind of was a warning because they do tell you that like life is gonna start post college, but like, ugh,
they tell you that and then they don't prepare you for it.
exactly.
But yes, I'm out of university. So
As am I.
yeah, we both are. That's how we met is through school. We haven't already done that.
Mm-hmm. Thank God for school. Even though that place was like rough, I'm really grateful for everything. You using your degree?
No.
Also, no.
Like seriously, I have not used my degree once. Like
Same.
but I think it's hard. Like we also have to be I think with a lot of us just graduating and finishing school like very gentle with ourselves because we're also in like a very unprecedented time. Like it's a very uncertain time and difficult I think for everyone. So as much as I'd be want to actually use my degree, I've kind of had to make choices to take care of myself and haven't really been able to do that. But I think that that's like similar for a lot of other people, you know?
I agree. I feel like literally going through the same thing. So I feel you want to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
What is your degree?
My degree was like international relations. It was like really interdisciplinary. I got to take classes in like all sorts of departments and like really tailor my coursework to whatever I wanted. So that was really nice. I had a lot of leeway there. But yeah, that was like what I studied.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know you were interested like for a while in medicine
Mm.
and like
Uh,
haven't you don't really feel that vibe. I mean, I feel the same. I literally was the same. I wanted to do the biomed things and then
yeah.
like dipped out of it a little bit.
I just it's a lot. It's a big commitment. It's a lot of school, and it's a huge commitment for me to be uncertain if I want to do it or not. The financial, the emotional, like I can't, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want to do, if that could change. I'm still young. I have some time to decide, but
I literally feel the same. I literally feel the exact same. World Bank UN? Oh.
have much of a focus on business. My focus was like more on global health, but I've definitely like looked into, especially being in New York, like with a lot of those big international institutions having like headquarters there. I've that or like working with NGOs. Sort of like in the process of that, looking for a job.
Ugh. That's its like own beast. Which
Ugh,
is we just live in such a weird time. Like applying to jobs, getting jobs. Like I know people are hiring, but also a lot of people are quitting their jobs, but also there's not like a lot of job like I know 2 years ago when I was still in LA, I mean obviously the pandemic was like in the thick of it, but I did maybe like 500 job applications and received only 3 responses back, like
mhm.
that were like kind of a yes even, and even those didn't work out. So it's
Yeah,
just like at what point like
yeah. I think that's like I want to tell you, you're not alone. That is my current experience, and I think that that tends to be like the experience of people, especially during this time as well. Not easy out there for sure. I think I've sent hundreds of job applications at this point as well. And like an industry that I'm not really particularly keen on working, but it's like I need a job.
I feel that I want you to, when I like make enough money consistently, I really want, because she's so good at like organizing things. Like, I just feel like managing things. Like, I just really need you to help me, like,
I'm not like
help me
leading.
clear my life.
I like to be in charge of people and like in charge of things. But obviously I'm not like I don't think I would consider myself like obnoxious. Some of
Not at all.
like people are like really obnoxious about it where you're like you can't micromanage everything and micromanage people. It's like you still also have to like it's a team effort.
Exactly. No, I agree. But you're really good at the people management, even like both like being respectful of like that we're a team, but also like leading
Mhm.
in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you doing in the free time? It's a good question. Y'all
I'm
are coming with the good questions today.
kind of like getting myself into a good routine for this year. I have like goals of things I want to accomplish, so just like working on those. Um, Keeping in touch with family and friends and getting in touch with people that I haven't with in a while. I've been doing that a lot. Um, just since it's like the beginning of a new year, like looking for I don't know, just like opportunities and ways to get involved and connect with people in New York safely. I know like the rise of COVID that hasn't necessarily been easy, but yeah, it's like kind of what I've been doing in my free time. Trying new things. Yeah. I've been kind of taking it easy, if I'm being honest, this last month, which at times was a bit boring, but I think needed.
Yeah, it was like in its own right. The self hustle wise, I meant LOL. Hello, Splendid.
I am currently working as a coach, like a sports coach, and I've done that for like a while. But since I've been home, like not so much. Um, I guess just like I also like Sachi had mentioned jewelry, so I've been doing that and like photography and stuff like that, I guess, hustle wise. But yeah, just still like really taking
Splendid said he made some seasoned ground beef with basmati rice,
sounds
which
good.
sounds super good.
I haven't had dinner yet.
Ooh, girl,
I might
what
have to
you
add up.
what you gonna make for dinner?
No, I really don't know.
I feel the same. No, I also haven't eaten dinner, but I also had a very large lunch,
Mm.
so I'm not too hungry at the moment.
What did you have?
I tutored, and then right after that, I went to Blaze,
Oh,
which love and adore Blaze, uh, especially because that was like my first job. So I like went in there, and they were like high school seniors, and I was talking with them, and I was like, "Whoa, I was worked here like 8 years ago," which sounds super crazy. Hey, Keem, what's poppin'? But I got a Blaze pizza. I was talking to Ty about this, but like okay, all right. Here's the thing. When I go to like regular pizza places, like Papa John's, Domino's, whatever, I will get like what normal people get. You know, like pepperoni, cheese, supreme, whatever it is. But like the build your own places, I can't even lie. I think some might say my pizza choice is nasty because
yeah,
I really put everything on that shit.
me
Like
too. Okay, here's $1,000,000. But okay, wait. I'm seeing. Yes, I do have ample time to get on Twitch, so I am seriously considering that.
all right, good push. I am Kamal.
But do you put pineapple on your pizza or not?
All right. I don't want to get canceled over this, right? I personally do not have a qualm against pineapple on the pizza. I'm not gonna
Like
lie.
very well, like a very political answer. No, I, you know, I do. Like sometimes I do, and I don't mind.
It's good.
I want to know from people who don't like it, like why they don't like it.
Okay, I'm Kamal seems like the biggest advocate for the no. Try pineapple olive pizza, so good.
Right, because it's like that sweet and salty. Like it's just like the perfect amount of Yeah, me too. I do like pineapple on my pizza. I'm not even ashamed of it, like at all.
It's good. It balances out the sweet savory-ish
Yeah,
like
but I
texture.
to build your own. Like if somebody was to ask me to build my own pizza, they'd probably be like, "That sounds disgusting." Especially
I don't
the
like
toppings I would choose plus the pineapple thrown on there. I wouldn't even blame someone for being like, "You're vile." For
I like don't
it might
eat.
be vile, but it tastes really good.
It does. I don't even understand the like hatred for pineapple. I'm come out. You are also gonna have to clarify for us like your qualm with it. But
I,
I don't like eat Blaze pizzas in front of people. I usually eat them by myself, like in some type of solitude, because I just don't feel like people need to watch them. I know that they would be like, even today, I was telling Ty, I was like, sometimes I will get all three sauces. Like it's not even just one. I'll be like, could you put the red and then
How is
drizzle?
the balsamic like reduction, like the drizzle? I love that. Like I'll always get that. What are the other sauces? I forget.
They have like a white sauce and then they have like a pesto sauce.
That
So
sounds amazing.
that's what I'm saying.
I
I'll
would
get the bread. I'll say, could you drizzle some of the white and pesto on it? Like,
anyone ever looked at you funny? I don't think they can't like if you work there because I'm sure that they just see like really interesting combinations. Like nothing would be like surprising, you know?
no fact. I when I did it today, they were just like we were joking about me basically putting like a whole grocery list on the pizza. But she said that she had seen it before. But I feel like for like somebody you're like dating, for example, like if somebody went on a date to Blaze Pizza, like I wouldn't feel comfortable doing my usual like dump it all on there because I just feel like they'd look at me and be like, gross. That's gross.
Oh my god.
Point, that's not even a pizza, it's just a collection of edible food items.
It's a flavor experiment.
It's a flavor exactly. Akeem, you said I've tried buffalo wings and pineapple chunks together, so I'm comfy having spicy with pineapple. Yeah,
Yeah,
like what is the qualm with the pine? I don't get it.
and like pineapple, I don't think is like a at times, or I guess when I have on my pizza, it's like the sweetness, but it's not like an overpowering flavor necessarily. I think it's just like what it offers.
Exactly.
It balances with its sweetness, and then it's a bit juicy. I like it. I also am like obsessed with pineapple. It's one of my favorite fruits. So
Same.
maybe that's just it too.
Time come out. I think you need to just go like do some self reflection and go try pineapple on a pizza and then come back to us and tell us your experience. Because you sound like you're being judgmental. Nah, y'all just weird.
Okay.
I've also put honey on my jerk chicken and that works too. Oh, honey and spicy is like my latest like
Really,
obsession. Like
I have
honey sriracha.
that's been like a bit of a trend. I feel like I haven't really participated in, but I've seen like honey on pizza, and that is not something I've ever tried.
I have also not ever tried that. That does sound different. Maybe like honey sriracha?
Yeah, like a hot.
Maybe. But
I
like
could.
just pure drizzle honey on it?
Yeah,
That's different.
that is a lot. That's way different.
But I mean, I'm also not gonna shoot that down either, because
My
like,
goal is like I'll try anything 3 times. So after the third, or after that, then I'm like, yeah, okay, I won't like try and eat this, or I might avoid that.
I feel the same. At least give it a shot before you like shoot it down.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
recently. Like I've never been a blue cheese person.
Mm.
Do you like blue cheese?
I'm not the biggest fan. I do like the feta cheeses and stuff. That yes, but blue I has not come like hasn't won me over yet.
I've always felt like I've missed out on something. So I'm trying to like open my mind a bit more. Yeah, it's
That's so funny.
um not my favorite and don't really like it that much, but that's something that I'm like, yeah, I'm allowing myself to try like 2 more times before I can decide whether or not I like it.
Makes sense. Somebody said that it tasted like ants.
What? I I feel like the part about that is I'm curious as to how you equate blue cheese with ants because I've never tried ants before. But like I also um food smelly. That's not like I'm more I will say I'm more of like a texture person than I am like a flavor or taste person. So I tend to be really thrown off by texture than taste. But no, I've never really been someone that can tolerate like super smelly foods or like just like those really intense flavors. But as I've gotten older, I've tolerated it a bit more.
I feel the same. I've lately had like a very weird like love obsession for Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah, I've always liked Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I did not mushed banana. Isn't that a Kenyan food? Or
Uh,
like, isn't it used in a lot of Kenyan food or not really?
banana. We use a lot of like plantain
Mm.
times, but mushed banana, like if somebody was to offer me like a bowl of mushed bananas, I'd probably decline. I was like eating like a bowl of oatmeal and I had a bunch of other toppings and like some mushed banana. I could like mix it in and I would enjoy it. I,
Okay. I feel the same. Yeah, like just like a plain mushed bananas, probably a no. Splenda said Brussels sprouts are underrated. I agree for sure. I don't know why. I feel like we just like our childhood, like all the children on the playground just all like told us it was gross and then like we all
I
accepted that.
sprouts. Like I've never there was one time I don't like boil like okay. With some side like of my culture here, I'm also Irish. That's where my mom's side of the family comes from, and they love to boil Brussels sprouts. Like that's one I will never eat a boiled Brussels sprout. That's it's not good. It's really but that's one I really can't eat them. Um, but yeah, no, I feel like they're super underrated. Like they're actually quite good if you prepare them well, especially if you like fry them.
Ooh. Never tried that. That's I usually like broil them almost. Like
Mm,
like bake broil them.
yeah.
Somebody said bowl of mushed banana. This sounds like a modern age clothesline. Bowl of mushed banana. That's so funny because I really could see somebody creating a whole brand on that, like the mushed banana brand, and it's like a logo with a mushed banana.
I could see that. Actually, I came across this one clothing brand and I was like thinking about Scott Disick?
Yeah,
He just came out with one called Talentless.
I saw that too, which I thought was very ironic.
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I also don't really love him as an individual, but I don't know. I don't really know much about him if I'm being honest, or the Kardashians. Like, I don't really keep up with them.
That's so. You said
That
I
was
don't.
an interesting name to choose for a clothing brand.
I thought it was very ironic. I don't know if I would be like inspired by it, because like you're essentially saying that you have no talent, and I don't know. That just doesn't like.
Maybe he sees it as like a reclamation of being talentless and being told that or something. I don't know.
I could see that. It's
This
so. You said I don't really keep up with them,
right.
but
This is um, UCLA brain trying to overanalyze things.
for real, I have kept up with the with the Kardashians. Scott is he's a complex individual. I mean, I guess we all are, but like he definitely has his own inner demons that he needs to work through for sure, as we all do. So I mean, I guess that's fair.
We all
I like. I think he's a little bit bored though. I think that's where Talentless came from. Like I feel like he just wants his own thing. Honestly, of all of them, the one that I respect the most is Kim because like one day way or another, she will get her bag. And she's actually a very good both like she's very intelligent. Like not to say that the rest of them aren't, but I
mm,
feel like she's quote unquote the most intelligent of all of them just because she's been very like strategic. Like I saw
Abby.
what's it called? Skims is now like valued at $3 billion. And like I was looking at the comments just because usually when the Kardashians are mentioned, people like rip through them. But all the comments were like, no, it's actually a very good brand. Like people were like, the quality is actually really good. It's affordable. Like I do think she deserves this type of like wealth for what she produced. I am under the belief that you cannot be truly bored when you are rich. Do you agree with that, Glea?
I think I can understand that in the sense of like the ways having offer you a lot of opportunity. But then I also wonder if because like you can have whatever you want, like it would just be boring.
Like life becomes dull almost.
Yeah, like I don't know, but I understand if like I think though having money you could feel bored like that and then also have the means to do something, go somewhere.
Yeah, once you're rich, you have everything. You become desensitized to everything. That's true. I feel like that's why it's really hard to give like rich people a gift almost because they have everything. So it's just like giving them another item that like they could already have or like already have. Like I don't know, that just it takes kind of a little bit of the magic out of it
Mm,
after a while because you're
yeah.
like, what do I get you now? Like you already have everything. Or
Also, I don't know, for me, I gain a lot of joy from the difficulty or like the trials of like trying to accomplish something or like work towards something can feel really satisfying like once you are putting in the hard work and like I'm not and I don't mean to say that to be taken as like people who are wealthy don't like work hard. Like I don't think that that's true. That's not what I'm implying. I just think for me personally, if I had enough money where like like money wasn't an obstacle and I could do whatever I want, I could see how I could get kind of like, I don't know, bored.
After a while, right? Do you want to be rich?
I think that in my life, I want to be financially independent and to like afford like basic life necessities without the stress.
Relatable as fudge.
Like go to the like to be able to access like quality healthcare and just like regular life things to have a good quality of life. I don't think that I have to be like super rich to do that. So I think I want the financial independence and I want to be able to do I don't know, just like live life without that being like a major obstacle and like a point of contention within my future relationship. What would be that would be enough? Oh God, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. What about you, Such?
um oh, splendid. You also said, I imagine the thoughts of a rich person are like, I've done everything I wanted, accomplished my goals, chased my dreams. Now what? What's the point? I could see that. I think a lot of rich people do get depressed over
Yeah.
that. At least when I was in LA, like when I would talk to people about it, they said the same thing. Like they just said there was a lot of people. I think there was an interview I did for a medical office LA, and the Uber driver was talking with me about it and about how like they had connections to a lot of wealthy people, and he
Yeah.
was saying that a lot of them committed suicide just because like they reached a point where everything felt pointless at a certain point. And I could understand that. Like I feel like you could be wealthy, but like what is the point of it is
Mhm.
important, especially like people just kind of like shoot for being rich just for the sake of it, and then when they get there they're just like, what am I actually doing with this if there's no point? My number, here's okay. I've said that like if I were to reach, because like my goal, so dramatic, but my goal is to be a billionaire at some point. However, if I when I reach the billionaire mark, I think my idea would be that like at that point I would cut everything in half, like, and for like the 500 million, I'd match the other 500 million in like giving back
Mm.
in some way, even if it's like like I feel like there's ways where you could be wealthy and still give back. So like owning buildings like a library, kind of like what the Rockefellers and stuff like that did. Like they owned really important aspects of life, like steel and stuff, but they also, I think Carnegie Mellon like built the school and he built like libraries and he did stuff like that with his wealth, and that's what I'd want to do. Like I'd want to reach that point and then like about half of the wealth that I have to go back into society in some way, whether that's like in nonprofit work and stuff like that. So I want to reach that so that I can like equally give as much as I have. So basically, like, yeah, for me, 500 million, I feel like is lovely. At that point, like, I'm comfortable, you feel me? Like, I could do what I need to do. I can travel the way I need to travel. Like there shouldn't really be any qualm, worry about like, oh, can I go to Panera today? My bank account not be card decline type of vibe. I can do what I need to do, invest in the things. If I want to invest in something, I can. That's what I'm shooting for. But I mean, I have to cross like 10,000 to get to like before I can do 500 million.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. But I really want to. I want to be like a role model, like the role model that I didn't have growing up. I feel like a lot of our role models for like successful black women tended to be entertainment focused, and like I mean some of them speak on certain topics now, but a lot of them don't necessarily like highlight certain things in life that I feel like they should. So I
Yeah.
want to be like that role model because I didn't grow up having that, and I remember being so lost almost.
Mm.
I was just like, what does a successful black woman look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 million would not go far in New York and parts of California. That's so sad, but it's so true. You definitely can't buy a house, like a good house with 3 million, I don't think, in LA. Like that would be really hard. Those are still like small squares, like tiny squares of land.
Like in New York.
Mm.
Depends.
That's why you stay away from New York and California. That's so funny because literally we just talked about that's where we both want to go.
Now, like it works for me in terms of like professional development and opportunity, but I've definitely thought about like I mean it also depends on like my partner, but down the line like what that might look like.
I agree. I'm like really into the idea now of Colorado. Gas in Cali is like $6 right now. Who decided that? I would also like to have a conversation with whoever decided that because I just feel like this whole gas situation just everywhere is so disrespectful. Like, why
It's
do I have to sell my kidney to like
it's pretty bad up here too, actually. Like definitely not close to $6 like that, but definitely
enough to like
not.
hurt you a little bit? We being taxed 20%? Yeah. Weed tax being 20%. Yeah, that honestly was like really hard in LA. Just like the cost. I think that that's part of what made living there so unsustainable. Low key, the amount of money that I spent in the cannabis industry was not conducive to an individual who wants a savings account. It's bad. It was really bad. The tax, I would just ignore the fact that the cost of tax and delivery was like almost the cost of the plant itself. But good times. There are 48 other states. That's true. Yeah, Colorado.
I like
Since you being there, and then I must go. It was very nice chatting with you all. It was a very nice chat.
thanks for stopping in.
Of course. Splendid. We will see you later. Minus Alaska. Yeah, I don't really count a lot. I'm not really trying to live there. I would definitely like visit it, but like live in the cold like that, like I don't think I could. I'm not built for that. Even North Carolina's cold is like not hitting for me. Thanks for the enjoyable conversation.
Likewise, you too.
Oh, take care and stay safe. Thank you, Splendid. You too. We'll see you again. I will keep you guys updated on Kalea's channel release. Oh, you said, whoa, don't diss NC. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect. I know lots of people love it and everything. I just like, I miss the city life a little bit. A lot of it, but a little bit.
To me. Let's try and make that happen this spring.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
Still waiting on the sister's channel too. Oh, yeah, my younger sister channel. Yeah, there's a lot of. I'll keep you updated when everybody releases their channels, y'all. You will be the first to know. I will update all of you. Be like, guys, it's time. Kalea's channel has been released. I will send you guys in her direction. Maybe even put a link on my channel for you guys to go find her. Bye, Splendid.
bye.
Okay, is next week. I
I
mean,
mean that would be really fun and amazing. We'll have to see. Hope definitely sooner rather than later. I'm actually genuinely considering it. I think that it would be really fun to do.
I think you would thrive for sure. Like 100% people would gravitate to you. People already do. I do. Shoot.
I'm screaming.
Oh, this is like one of the best streams I think I've ever done. Just like we've been on here for 3 hours again.
No, this is what we're talking about though, and we will just keep going. Like
And going.
I'm going, I'm going. I might have to call it though because I'm starving.
No worries, sis.
Let's do this again though. This was incredibly fun. And it was nice meeting you.
Of course. Actually, genuinely let me know because like I'm down. I'm trying to I've committed to a stream a week. So we can talk about it again for sure when to do when together again.
It
Cause
delve into specific topics too.
yeah. If you guys also have topic ideas you want to hear more
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
Kalea, let us both know in the medias. I know Kalea, you don't like super emphasize your social media, but I'm still gonna put a link to it in the description
I'm
of
just
this later.
yeah. I'm never on there, but I don't know that. But yes, thank you for having me. This was such a pleasure. This was so fun. First time I ever did
Of
this.
course. Thank you for being a guest. The future of America. Oh, ew. I'm excited. Yeah, we'll definitely do this more often for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you should eat food. I like might stream again after this. I don't know. We'll see. I do have to also use the bathroom. I've been holding it because I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, I was like, that's sweet. Yeah,
No, oh, the future of America. That's a topic. Oh yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so special.
we can
Ooh,
we can delve into that too. Like, there's some great stuff to like talk about.
I'm 100. I'm down. It's the short answer is I think it's semi going to shit, but like yeah, for sure we could definitely go into.
There is shitting, but we can talk more about that.
Okay, yay. Alrighty, friend.
Alrighty. Well, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for having me. Good night,
Of
everyone.
course.
Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you. We all shall. You too. Enjoy your dinner. I would probably text you right after this too, but
Yeah. I'll talk to you later.
okie dokie.
Bye.
Hi, friend. Oh, guys, that was Kaleha, one of my bestest friends for such a long time now. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Like I have so many friends who are like the closest friends I have are all like 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years, 13 years, and I've known them. She's an incredible human being. Obviously, I'm gonna link her stuff in the description, even though she doesn't use social media as much, but she's a very cool individual, and I know that she has a lot like coming soon in life. I think at this point we're at 3 hours now, which is awesome. I can't believe we were like I don't know, just we kept it this long, and then also, um, yeah, just kept the conversation rolling. You guys were so active in today's conversation, which I really liked too. I'm pretty down to like keep streaming if you guys are down, but I'm gonna use the bathroom and probably switch to Streamlabs over Restream just because like I prefer Streamlabs for like that type of like when it's one on one. If you guys are down, you can let me know and I'll switch over. I definitely have to use the bathroom first. For the YouTube people who are on here, I would definitely slide on over to the Twitch channel. Oh, I have to leave. Oh, I'm Gamal. Well, you were incredible too. Yeah, I think we'll put a pin in it for now, and if I feel inspired to hop back in the stream, I shall do that on Streamlabs. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Every Wednesday, and like basically turning into every Saturday now because I've done it a few Saturdays in a row. But I love you guys so freaking much. You are the best community ever. We have so many more weeks of guests to explore conversations with, and definitely on my Twitch channel in the suggestions box, if you guys have any ideas for streamers that you want me to collaborate with, let me know. I know on Wednesday you guys dropped a name for me of somebody you want me to reach out to, so I will be reaching out to her, and I'll try and see if I can get her on the show. Otherwise, happy Saturday. Enjoy your evening, and I love all of you. Good night, good morning, and I might see you in a few.